Okie dokie. I believe we are live. At least we should be. Yep, there we go. Okay. It's good to see. We'll just get this pulled up here so I can keep an eye on the chat. There we go. Alright, OBS is good to go, it looks like. I think the audio is good as well. We'll see. But it looks like we're okay. Alright. Alright, if it's not, I can adjust the audio on the fly, though. Oh, man, it is so good to be back. A little more nerve-wracking than I thought it would be, Josh. Alright, well, I guess while I wait for people to show up, I'll just get started on working on the Ion Shield Gauntlet's arm. So I've got the arm itself finally finished.
Autistic quiz.
Thank you, Josh.
Zachary, autistic wizard.
You are causing your mic to cut out horribly bad. I can barely make you out. So it looks like
Probably just because I'm shoving my face into the microphone.
there's that too. Man. Well, Josh, in general, we haven't actually had much of a chance lately to chat. How you doing? How you been?
Man, I've been all right. Got a lot going, a lot doing, a lot of moving and shaking.
A lot of moving and shaking, you say?
Or shaking and moving, whichever day it is, you know.
It's very nice. I'm glad to finally have just a couple of normal days here. Obviously, my wife is working from home today, so I'm readily available if she needs me, but I don't have to leave to go pick her up, so being able to have pretty much everything at my normal time is nice. To say I've missed streaming is an understatement, to say the very least, because I miss hanging out with my community. I miss hanging out with Stolas and Miri and Luna.
You miss hanging out with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You're pretty fun to hang out with occasionally, you know.
Sometimes.
Been working with Krieger as well. He's helping me list build an army for supporting the Porphyrion, which has actually been a lot of fun, doing a lot of theory crafting and whatnot. List building is fun, and I'm running into the same consistent headache, unfortunately, that I think every Imperial Knights player has. And would you care at all to take a guess as to what that issue might be?
The nights just kind of suck.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that they always suck after we get our codex or an errata at the start of an edition. No, the issue I'm referring to in particular is, simply put, that damn pesky 2,000 point limit when it comes to Imperial Knights. Because I'm like, I could get a really powerful list. Oh, no, my army's 2,500 points. Oh, well.
Yep. Basically just told you to suck it.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, Imperial Knights are the only downside is the point costs. I still think the Acastus Knight Porphyrion would be great if it was just, 200 points cheaper. If you make that thing a 525 points, still a very expensive knight, the most expensive knight, I still think it would be an amazing model to field. But they just don't want to have people have massive, uber expensive Forge World models in order to change and alter the meta. And I'm like, you know what? Quit being cowards. Just do it. You know? Give me
Just
a
poop your pants a little.
give me a Warlord Titan that's 2,000 points. Let me feel if I have the money for a Warlord Titan. Let me take a Warlord Titan to a tournament. You know, let me take a Warlord Titan to a tournament. Let me field it. It's the only model on the board. I'm not gonna win on objectives. The only option I have is to table somebody, and I feel like you could balance it where you could still table somebody if you're really trying, but you have to be really decent with the model in order to get to that point. You know.
Yeah, I can see that. There was somewhere in this crazy
That looks good. Very nice. It was 360. Let's see. Got 180. 400. I'll take that. 600. Yeah, all right. Let's start doing some fine sanding here. $400. We'll do some 600 here. Well, I've been taking a look at some of the new stuff coming out. I have to agree with you. The new Sons of Behemoth models coming out look really nice, by the way. I do like them. The Knights of Age of Sigmar. It's just a shame that they're a destruction faction.
It's true.
But they do look nice. I need to get back into, and hopefully that's probably what I'll focus on next week. Once I want to get my knights closer to done. I'd love to continue working on my cities of Sigmar and even get my Caradrons finished.
Did you say you were going to do your Caradrons?
I did say I was going to do my Caradrons.
Are you thinking about doing your Votan?
I do. I have some Votan sprues that I have been sent thanks to Fine.
Votan.
So my goal is just pull a Homer Simpson on me. 1,000. So
yes.
1,000. 2,000. My goal is when I get my Votan, around Christmas, my plan is I'm getting a big bonus from work. I'm actually gonna get a better camera set up, so I can actually see what I'm doing on camera a lot better. Because the problem I'm having is I can't really get my phone, which I'm currently using, to focus as much as I'd love to. I'd love to be able to get a proper camera so I can do better hobby streams as well as recording what I'm doing. And I'd love to do a series where I go back over, repaint my Votan that I have, as I've kind of fallen away from what I was originally doing. Squats for the Squats God, you're damn straight. I love me some dwarves. Dwarves are one of my absolute favorite races in all of like fantasy and sci-fi, thanks to the Leagues of Votan, and I am so excited to get them back up and running. and working. So once I'm done here, getting my knights, everything set up, my plan is to get my Leagues of Votann stuff finally sorted and get them working. I've got a Hecaton Land Fortress. I've got a couple extra
Hecaton Land Fortress.
Got a couple extra Hernkin Pioneer squad bikes. I've got the new, I forget the name of the car, but you know, the one that's got the 4 hover mounts on them. They look really good. I had a paint scheme I was doing. I just don't think I love it. I think I'm going to change it up. I don't know what color scheme I want to go for yet though, but I think it would look really nice. And once I get the new camera at the end of the year, I will be able to do better streams and hopefully do proper hobby content like I want to do. Votann are surprisingly fun to paint. Just don't mention my Votann pile of shame. Same here, brother. Same. You have no idea. I got the original starting army box when it first came out. And I've gotten a combat patrol. I got a bunch. I got a bunch. I need to... I probably have close to 1,500 points. If I had to really think about it. So... I could be fairly well off if I decided I actually wanted to do anything with what I've got. It's just that's the hard part, though. Pile of shames are a real phenomenon, though. My knight pile of shame, I'm slowly whittling away at. Let's see. I still have to finish painting my Cerastus Knight Castigator. I got to paint my Acheron. I've got to paint... Well, I got to finish building the Lancer and then get it painted. I've got my Atropos I still need to put together and build. That intimidates me because I have worked with Forge World Resin a singular time since. And it did not go great for me. It wasn't terrible. It just didn't go great for me. But there are worse things, I suppose. So... I'm ready to get them finished, though. I think I'm sitting on almost 4,000 points worth of Knights. And then once I get those finished, I'm going to move on to my leagues. But I'm thinking next week, now that I'm trying to get back into streaming after a 3-week hiatus, I think I'm going to start working on my Cities of Sigmar stuff. Because I got a bunch of good Cities of Sigmar stuff. Including my Cogfort. 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 Votann are cool, though. I love me some Votann. And I've been rightfully given a lot of crap for not finishing my Votann.
True. It's 'cause you suck.
Thank you. Thank you, JD. I appreciate that.
Just kidding. I love you too much, Pookie.
Aw, shucks. Thanks, bud.
Let me get back to...
That was 600. We'll move to 800 real quick. See if I can get this Lancer looking nice and good. I'm still thinking about the pose I want to do for the Lancer. I hate doing the normal static poses that they typically come in. I have this really cool idea of like the spear being stabbed into the ground at his feet, like he's at a resting position or something. But I've already done a resting
like
position.
Like an Arista pose.
Hey, Wilson Family Jewelry. Thank you. Good evening to you too. Good to see you again, man. Also, Club Me. Thank you for swinging by. I really do appreciate that. I completely lost my mind by not saying anything. But so good to see you guys, though. I've had a heck of a time the last couple of weeks. Off the top of my head, I have a boarding box, the box that has the steel jacks, a land fort, Sagittarius, Capricus Carrier, 12 bikes, 30 or so Hearthguard, 40 Berserks, and probably 30 or so Warriors judging. Jeez. Yeah, that's nice, though. It's a nice set. That's a lot of points worth of Votann. I think you might be close to me when it comes to my points of Knights. I'm sitting on I think after the most recent balance sheet, I think technically I'm at 35, 35 after the most recent sheet, but I was at about. Yeah, anyway, I know it's in the neighborhood of like 3,500, 3,800 somewhere in there. But I think the most recent balance sheets for what I was planning on running, they dropped a bunch of points. So, which is not the worst thing in the world. I'll say that. You want a little daft? Listen, you don't have to apologize. Some of those Votan stuff looked really, really good. I'm still expecting a Votan flyer at some point. I'd love to see a flyer. I'd probably be all over the Votan if there was a flyer. Just because I think they need a little bit of something to help them push up. Because they don't have all the Armor of Contempt Space Marines. They're slower than that. But having a flyer transport would be like a sick model addition for the Force. Which I'm actually rather excited to see. Wilson, I was going to ask you, how goes your White Scars? Clubby, nice. Knights look fun. I hear they got a bit of a nerf. They always get a bit of a nerf. Knights, they dominate an edition when the edition first starts, as always, and the same true for 10th because they were the best army in the game. And then their rules came out, and then they got nerfed when their codex came out, and that's just kind of how it goes. They're consistently one of the worst armies in the game. I think we're currently 3rd worst, but that's okay. No one can judge me for wanting to play an army because I'm trying to power game or anything. I'm doing it for the love of the Knights. So I'm working on Space Wolves list with 18 Thunderwolf Cavalry, nice. 18 Head Takers, nice. 30 Fenrisian Wolves. Murder Fang, I like Murder Fang. Aryak plus 5 Wolfguard Terminators, a Wolf Priest, and 10 Grey Hunters. I love me some Space Wolves. JD can tell you, he's here with me. Space Wolves are one of my favorite factions in 40k. They're the reason I got into 40k, so I love me a good Space Wolf faction. So you have my respect as well as my attention. They need a walker too, Club B. I agree. Votan could use a walker. They need more vehicles. They just do. I get it. They have the fast movie, Hernkin stuff. They have the Sagittar, which is great, but they really need more like proper speedy troop transports. I was hoping the Hecaton Land Fortress would be a better option, but it is a good option. It's a good tank for sure. I still think it's funny that they're classified as a Xenos race, though. And they're not, because they're not Imperial, but they are technically human. Okay, here it is. We'll get the 400 going. Space Wolves are great. I love me some Space Wolves, though. Wilson, like, that's awesome. I'm a little sad that there's no Bjorn in there, but going heavy on the Wolves, I'm a fan. I watched that video of that guy recently who took 50 Fenrisian Wolves to a tournament. And he did okay. Yeah, he didn't win, but he did okay. That was the 800, was it? Yeah, so that's 800, so we'll just do 1,000 real quick. Polish that down, get that nubbin off, and then we'll do a 2,000. And then we'll hit it with a 3. Now, I'm going to be a little overkill here. You don't need to go up to 7,000, but why not? I have them here. And then we'll hit it with a 7. Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I've been away too long. I haven't worked on my Knights in quite some time. I've been a little upset with my Knights because I made a massive boo-boo that unfortunately came back to haunt me more than anything. But I did manage to finally get past that, and I'm ready to get back into working on them. My wife is also very, very kind to me, as a mixture of a big thank you, as well as a just to be nice to me, I suppose. She bought me a destrier, the new night destrier, and it is coming in this weekend. So I'm very excited. In 2 days, I will have the destrier, and that's kind of the reason why I was like, you know what? I told everybody I was going to stream today. I might as well start streaming and get to work on finishing up my Knights Army I started. You know, it occurs to me, so Wilson was here for some of this, but Club Me, if you're interested, I'd like to, let me show you something that I absolutely adore about my my Knights collection real quick. Give me 1 second. I promise I will be right back. Just get all my stuff up out the way. And we'll just do a quick vacuum. Okay. I will show you the prized possession of my collection. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to set my headset down. I had to get it plugged in because it has to charge, so my apologies. Okay, so just for reference, I started a series when I first started making content called Posting Daily Warhammer Content Until I Own an Acastus Knight Porphyrion. And then for my birthday this year, and again as a thank you present, my wife got me, I'm going to be very ginger with it because this is basically my child, got me an Acastus Knight Porphyrion. And this thing is gigantic. This right here is one of the guns. This is not primed. I primed this. But this is one of the guns that it comes with. It is almost the length of this whole model itself. But just for a size comparison, and it's not the best size comparison considering the way I have it posed, but my Knight Errant, which is a Questoris Knight, right here. I know the resin really picks up the light too well. This is my Knight Errant, my Knight Questoris, and again, just a bit of a size comparison. This is how big the gun is next to the Knight. It is this. Just the arm is the size of this guy. It is hilarious, but I love it so much. Also, I'm really proud of this posing job I did here. I hate the static poses that Knights come in typically, so I have gone out of my way to make this custom pose every single one of them, and I thought it would look really cool to have it just sprinting straight at you on the tabletop. So, anyway, I got to get the shoulder pads on it, but I got to finish painting it, obviously. But this right here is my most prized possession, and all because my wife decided she wanted to do something nice for me when I was taking care of her as she was recovering from surgery. So, very fragile, very expensive, and I usually keep it on a shelf while I'm waiting to paint it because I'm a little intimidated to paint it, but I will get to painting it soon. Nighttime camouflage so you can be stealthy. I don't know that you can be stealthy with a gigantic ton. Thoughts? I guess he's not there at the moment, but yeah. So, I now have. I gotta come up with a paint scheme for him, which I'm working on, and of course, I think I want to go with black and yellow for my normal house paint scheme. I have 2 different Knight houses I'm building that work together. You've tabled your white scars for the moment as you got another idea for bikes. Well, you got to tell me, Wilson. You can't just throw that out there. What's your idea for the bikes? I got to know. Where'd the sun go? Just a massive camo knight blocking it out. It's got to be the like the duck hunt camouflage that like you see all the time in like Bass Pro Shops. It's like reeds and stuff. So, that would be so funny. That or it's just pictures of John Cena all on the outside. That's good. I like that. Where is my sprue goo? I know I have some. There it is. I left it up over here. That is funny, though. That is funny. The idea of just a giant duck camouflage knight. I can't. That is so good. All right. Let's try here. One of my favorite aspects of this hobby, and one I wish more people embraced, is the idea of just homebrew. Coming up with your custom stuff. I think that's some of the best, and so I've been working on my custom night house quite a bit. Problem is, money-wise, everything we're a little tight as of late. We've had some unfortunate series of events occur over the last couple of weeks. So my night content will be drying up for a little while once I finish everything. But I had an idea for some new content. Been saving up a whole bunch of empty sprue that I was given. And I'm going to try to build a frame of a Warhammer-inspired starship so I can make like a tabletop board out of a ship, which I think would be really cool. And I've done some math trying to make it work. I believe if I do it right, and I use the dimensions correctly, it'll be about 7 feet long. Sprue knights, that would be good. If I could just start building knights, I could take them to tournaments and be like, well, they are technically Citadel plastic. I'd love to actually the judges at GW. I think that would be freaking hilarious. Alright. We'll let that dry just a little bit. In the meantime, get this sprue knight assembly line. That would be great. I wanted to build a ship. I've got a good friend of the channel, and a friend of mine is sending me a whole bunch of empty sprue. And he even is throwing in, with his empty sprue, some boarding action terrain sets. Partially constructed, but that doesn't matter to me. I'll make it work. But yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could just make a giant spaceship. I just gotta come up with a name for it. Okay, let's just smooth that down ever so slightly. Alright. Once I get the lance here finished, I'll need to come up with how I want to pose it. It's nice, quite impressive what some people do with old sprues. Oh yeah, when I first learned about sprue goo back in the day, I was blown away. I was like, you could do what with your old sprues and use it to make stuff? So I've just decided I'm just going to do that. Now, I've seen people, and I was recently told by a good friend, he keeps his in a mason jar filled with acetone and a little paint thinner. And he says, if you're not careful when you open that jar, if your face is directly over the jar, you could speak to the God Emperor directly. He said he opened it up one time, and he thought he was going to fall on the floor. He got so lightheaded. He's like, man, I could see the face of the God Emperor. This is crazy. So we'll let that dry, and then when that's dry, we'll smooth that out. In the interim, I'll need to get my instructions out. I turned straight to the page I needed to. Okay, so I need D9, 10, and 11 for the tip of the spear. So we'll just go ahead and get that started. Okay, 9, 10, and 11. But yeah, I'm excited. I want to see if I can make some nice stuff out of that. I've got enough Warhammer to last me for a while, but of course, as every Warhammer fan knows, the pile of shame only continues to grow. I have an idea for what I want to do for my mom. She really loves a specific model that when she saw the price for it, she's like, yeah, I don't need it that bad. And I'll see if I can't make it work for her. She really liked the look of the Harridan, the Tyranid Harridan, even though it's like $500. But she thinks it looks like the dragon from Panzer Dragoon. And so I was like, and that's one of her favorite games. Remember, I have vivid memories of as a child of her playing that game and me just watching her play. So I was like, hey, wouldn't it be nice Mother's Day next year if I could get the money necessary to get the Harridan and then take it, build it, and paint it and make it look like Panzer Dragoon from the game and give it to her as a gift. And I think she'd really appreciate that. Let's see. So imagine you agree to play a game against the Black Templars player, and he turns up with 30 Black Templars, but 30 bikes, 2 ATVs, 3 Demos Predators, and 3 Centurions, all with flame weapons. Yikes. Good news. I don't think the Drukari or any Eldar would like to play against that at all, or Tyranid players. I think they would all equally hate you, and for good measure. And you know what? I'm all about it. So go forth, my son, make it happen. Wage bloody campaign against the filthy Xenos across the galaxy. One more nub there. We'll just trim that back. And then we'll trim this piece off back here. And then we'll just tab you real quick. Oh no! I did not mean to do that. There we go. My apologies, everybody. There we go. But yeah, that sounds brutal, Wilson. That sounds brutal. But yeah, I'm excited to try any of that stuff out. I'd love to make that ship. I think it'd be great content. I am planning at the end of the year, I get a bonus. I am planning on getting some equipment to upgrade my my streaming and hobby recording setups. So better camera, better microphone, so I'm not just using my gaming headset all the time. Although I don't think the headset's terrible. It's just not great. So... And then, of course, if I can make this carrier ship for a board, which I think would be so cool. You know, if I could make that happen and get enough boarding action to fill out the inside of this thing and make multiple kill team boards that you can combine together to make one massive board, and it's just one gigantic close quarters battle, I think that'd be so much fun. You know, it really changed the nature of the game, where you are forced to go down tight corridors or hold down larger corridors if you have larger units, you know. It would just be really neat. Okay, there we go. Let's go into the 600 here. But yeah, your Black Templar list, man, it's just... The more I think about it, Wilson, the more, like, crazy good it sounds. You know? $800 in here, so we'll get the 800 grit going. Move on to that's the 2,000. I need the 1,000 grit. Perfect. We'll just sand that down here. All right. I think I've got some ideas here. I gotta find what I did to that copper wire. I have some here. I have some 30 gauge copper wire, real skinny stuff, which I'm excited about, which I can use for electrical effects. And I have some really cool ideas on what to do for the electrical effects here on the Lancer. But I don't know what I did with it. It's somewhere around here. I know that for a fact. Wish I knew what I did with it, though. Oh well. There we go. Looking pretty good. We'll just buff that down. And then we'll hit it with the 7,000 real fast, and we should call this piece here good. There we go. Looks good. It almost looks like I didn't carve into it at all, but it's nice and smooth, which is what I'm looking for. Because this one, I'm going to have to shave down a little bit. I hate these gates, these nubs from where you cut it off the sprue. They're nowhere near as bad as when I've worked with Forge World resin, but they're not nice. And then after we'll get this buffed down, we'll start connecting the lance up a little bit. Trim this down a little bit. But yeah, the last, just a heads up, I think this is probably everybody we're going to get today, which is okay. I do miss some other members of my community, but I know it's been such a long time. I can't expect anyone to just drop what they're doing on a dime and show up, but it has been a long time coming, unfortunately. We have been dealing with a lot here on our personal side of things. I've not been able to stream for a few weeks now, which is a shame. See, I'm doing it backwards. That's half my problem. See, my wife, a few weeks back, she had to get rushed to the hospital. What started off as something relatively minor, we thought, which was some eye pain, turned into her getting a blind spot in her left eye. And I ended up calling into work, so I had to take her into the ER the next morning. Well, at the time we didn't know it was the ER. We were going to an urgent care. But he sent us to an ER because they said, we really want her to get an MRI. We're concerned about some of the causes of what's going on with the eye pain. And as it turns out, we get to the ER, and we're there for a while, waiting to be seen. And they finally get her in, and they get the MRI done, and they discover that there are multiple lesions in her brain, which just truly scary prospect. And so we were in the hospital for about a week, where they were pumping her full of steroids to bring down the swelling, because they believed there was swelling going on in the brain, which might have been causing the lesions, and also to just bring down the swelling in her optic nerve in her eye, which is what was causing the blind spot. But they were concerned it could have been meningitis or myocephalitis, and it was just a scary ordeal. Turns out she was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, which, you know, that's a life-changing diagnosis. It's I wouldn't say it's a death sentence, but, you know, it's you're stuck with that for the rest of your life. You know, you have to deal with that and move forward. So obviously I didn't stream that week because I spent the entire week up there with my wife just to make sure she was okay. I was there if she needed me. And then you fast forward about 4 days, 5 days, we end up coming home because they just like, we've done all we can. The swelling's gone down a little bit. We think she's out of like the worst of it. So I was like, okay. So we get her home, and we're home for about 6 hours or so, where she collapses. And she's like, I don't feel. She was incredibly weak. She doesn't feel right. Her head is pounding. Turns out her blood pressure had spiked massively. It was like 213 over 132. It was incredibly high. And took her back, and they had to give her some other medications to bring down her blood pressure, and they called it a cardiac event. They wouldn't say if it was a heart attack or anything like that, but they did say it was a cardiac event, and they kept her for 2 more days. Then we came home, and she's still blind in her left eye. She has to use a walker to get around the house, so she struggles to do anything on her own now, which is a shame, but, you know, it is what it is. And so I've been taking care of her and taking her back and forth to work over all my days off from work, which they've really messed my schedule up there as well because somebody quit, and now they've got me closing, so my days off have shifted, and so I've had a hell of a time getting back to streaming back with you guys, which is a shame, but I'm glad to finally be back. I'm glad to finally be here. I wish everybody could be here, but, you know, you take 3 weeks off, the algorithm kind of forgets you exist, so, but that's okay. I didn't do this to garner a bunch of viewers anyway. I did this because I wanted to get that feeling of hanging out at a game store and building and painting and talking with like-minded people and celebrate the hobby we all love together, because, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes life just sucks, and it's just nice to share something with somebody, you know. And if you guys have something in common, like a hobby or something, it's just nice to have that kind of presence. And so that's why I started doing this, and I'm glad to be back at it. Family is always first, man. You do not have do-overs with that. You're right, absolutely. And I don't have any regrets at all. You know, I wish my usual people could be here and hang out with us, because, you know, I'm sure they've wondered where I'm at and everything. But I've tried to keep people updated on the Discord and all. But, you know, if everything works out, you only have one spouse. You only have one wife. And I'm glad I took the time off to be with her, and I wouldn't do it anything different if I could. Yeah, okay, so this definitely goes here. Bless her, that shit, my partner and son had a muscle wasting condition, and the docs say it's only going to get worse. My partner's already had one knee op, and she needs another one in both ankles too. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing, like, you know, my mom, you know, she's diagnosed with autoimmune issues, and her health has deteriorated slowly over the years. My dad, you know, taking care of her and making sure she's good, and you know, my dad treats her very, very well. And I often joke, because my wife reminds my family a lot of my mother, that I'm speedrunning my dad's marriage. You know, it took him 30 years to get to where he's at in his marriage, and I did it in less than 1, which I think is funny. But, you know, it's you have to have some kind of positivity, because, you know, the negativity can really eat away at you. The dread and despair, if you're not careful, can just devour any kind of semblance of happiness and hope. And believe me, it's been rough for her. It's been rough for me, you know. And it makes me, you know, and I've had to contend with feeling guilty about feeling, you know, about feeling like it's happening to me as well. You know, because my hey, Luke, what's going on, brother, man? Glad to see you here. I wish everyone else was here, but I'm glad to see you made it. I'm doing okay. Just catching up and telling everybody what's been happening over the last few weeks. You know, caretaker fatigue is a thing that I've had to learn about and I've had to contend with, you know. And it's you know, I feel guilty that because I'm not the one suffering, you know, and yet I'm exhausted all the time, you know. I worked all the way through my partner having cancer in her treatment last year, and when she took unwell again with another thing, I took a long look at myself and took 6 months off to be there for her. You know what, Club Me, that is genuinely good on you. Good on you for doing that. You know, work has been work. I have not been overly pleased with how work has been treating me, and not because of the wife situation, but you know, you have to do what you have to do. Family always comes first. Will always put my loved ones ahead of work. You're damn straight. They're not worth. They're not. No job is worth losing your family. And not that mine would even say that I have to choose. She would be. You know, I've got really good benefits because of this. You know, we're gonna be okay, but still tough. You know, still an adjustment. But Luke, it's good seeing you, man. I'm glad to have you're here, brother. Okay, just trying to smooth out this sprue goo a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, it's been rough. You know, I've had to work on understanding. You know, one, what my wife is going through, and she is going through a lot, and also two, dealing with feelings of guilt. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy feeling guilty that you feel like you need a break and you're not the one going through something. But caretaker fatigue really is a thing. A good friend of the channel and a good friend of mine, Final Gaming, by the way, FYNL Gaming, absolutely check him out if you haven't. Great channel, does really good wholesome content. He had to help me see the truth. Like, you know, I got to take care of me. You know, I felt really guilty that I haven't been able to post content like I wanted to, or haven't been able to stream like I wanted to, and he had to really be there and be like, hey, listen, you're dealing with a lot. Like, you know, it's not your fault. And I've always like struggled with laziness, you know, so I've always been like really harsh to myself, and I never gave myself any out. Like, I'm like, yeah, I haven't done it because I'm lazy, you know. Do not scratch my chair. Sorry, cat. Anyway, he's finally got me to see it, and it's been like, I've been so tired these last couple of weeks with my work schedule going absolutely haywire and having to be there and take care of my wife at night and whatnot, that I just kind of come home and stare at like, I'll boot up a game on my PC and I'll just stare off in the distance. Wizard, don't worry about not being able to post content. We as the viewers can wait as long as we need to, and for you to have everything to be good at home before us, we can wait. Okay, Luke, I appreciate that, man. I really do. I'm glad to be streaming again, though. I'm glad to be doing that, and I'm working on a night. It's been a while since I've streamed and built a night, but I've got my Lancer. I'm feeling good about life. You know, I'm in a good place, good enough place where I feel like I can do this, and it's just gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm also excited to see a familiar face, and you have a couple of new people too. Well, of course, Wilson coming back in. By the way, shout out Wilson. You have to make your Black Templar idea work, man. That sounds fucking sick, by the way. Also, your Space Wolves list. But also, it's nice to have some new people and some familiar faces, man. Alrighty, sorry about that. Had to think and concentrate here. But I believe once I get this smooshed in, that is a Lancer spear tip. That is freaking sick. This is awesome. I like this kit is amazing. You know, I've heard this knight is absolutely a unit, a beast on the tabletop. I've been watching way too many people make videos about like knight ranking lists when it comes to tabletop rule sets and whatnot. And I'm not a power gamer. You know, I'm not playing a faction because it's great on the tabletop. It's really good. I'm not meta chasing or anything like that. One, I'm playing Imperial Knights. Like, no one's playing Imperial Knights because it's a good faction to play, right? If anything, people are playing Imperial Knights because they just happen to really like Imperial Knights. That's kind of about it. But the other part of this whole shebang is I also, like, cause my dream has been to play Imperial Knights, but also to play Imperial Knights with a Porphyrion, and I wanted to go to the Las Vegas Open, which at the time was the largest Warhammer tournament in the world, and I wanted to be the first person to bring an Cerastus Knight Porphyrion to the tournament. Come and find out, by the way, I'm not the first person. LVO 2025, unfortunately, someone beat me to the punch. They finally brought an Cerastus Knight Porphyrion in their knight list, and I was like, oh, it's sad. But I love this model so freaking much that I still want it to be the centerpiece of my army. And if I can't be the first person to go to the LVO with one, I can still be a person who goes to the LVO with one. So I want to take my Porphyrion with me to the LVO and make it the centerpiece of my army. Now, the problem is with the Porphyrion sucks, right? Like, stat-wise, it's pretty okay. It's actually a pretty powerful unit to have on the tabletop. Problem, it's 725 points alone. It's too expensive to be a viable unit for the tabletop, which in and of itself is not really that big of a deal. I'm fine with that. I'll pay the cost, you know, but it's hard to build an army around the Porphyrion and make it quote-unquote good. I just want it to be decent. I'd love to be able to win a game with the Porphyrion. I'm not expecting to win a game with the Porphyrion. I think that's the proper mindset to have. But the Lancer, I have heard, is a absolute beast. It's on everybody's like must-take S-tier knight list. And I'm like, wow, I did not know that the Lancer was that good of a model. But apparently, it's one of the best models of knights on the tabletop right now. I had no idea. Wilson Family Jewelry says, just remember, you can't be there for your wife if you need someone to be there for you. You need to make sure that you're okay and that you can be there for her. Exactly. And that's the biggest advice I've gotten. It's hard to grapple with those feelings of, like, guilt associated with that, but it's the best advice. It really is. And that's exactly what I plan on doing, you know. So that's actually why I'm here. I've been wanting to live stream again for a while and haven't really been able to do so. And so I am excited to be here. I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to work on a night again. It's like the early days of me streaming. I haven't been able to do this for so long. It's like a blast from the past. Hopefully this time my volume's good enough that everyone can hear me okay and the music's not blaringly loud. I hope not, anyway. I've done my best to balance it. If anybody needs me to balance the audio better, though, just let me know. I've got my stuff here to do so. But it looks like the audio level's okay. Maybe a tad loud, but no one's told me anything that it's too loud for anyone to hear me, so I will take it. I'm just gonna There we go. Alrighty, boys. That is most of a lance. I believe. Now we got to get D13 and D14. Now, I think I've already clipped D13 by mistake. But that's it. Alright. Give me 10 seconds. I will be right back. I got to go let the dogs in. They've been out quite a bit, and it's really hot outside. So, give me 2 seconds. I'll be back. Sit you down. The table with my knees that hurt. Ooh. My sincerest apologies, everybody. I am back. Huh. Luke sent a message and then immediately retracted the message. I bet you he was praising chaos, that heretic. I remember when my friend broke his lance when he was gluing it and somehow he snapped it in half. Oh my god. I'm good. I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. Nice and smooth. Alright. So, D13, D14. Now, I'm pretty sure I've already cut D13. Yes, I did. I did cut D13. Now I should need to cut D14. Speaking of audio, if you want, I have some music that I wrote and used AI to sing, because as I can't sing, on YouTube called Jeff El Paso Music. You're free to listen on stream. You know what, Wilson? I actually will check that out. That'd be nice. What's funny is I've had a lot of people pop up and tell me that I suck for using AI in my thumbnail, in my profile picture, and the truth of the matter is, one, I'm not necessarily an AI defender. I'm not an AI hater either, so I'll gladly check it out. But yeah, it's I don't hate AI. I just don't. I want to be able to eventually replace all the things I'm doing that have AI with proper artwork and stuff. But that takes time and money, and I don't have either of those things, unfortunately. Well, I've subbed to you, so you should be seeing more of me, really enjoying the stream and your personality. Well, thank you, Club Me. I appreciate that. You know, I started streaming, like I said, to get that kind of game store feel, like hanging out with people and whatnot, but also, and I did unfortunately make a video that I think is a little negative, unfortunately, but I try to avoid negativity in the hobby space, because there's enough of it out there. I just want somebody that celebrates the hobby aspect of it, and that's what I really try to do. So I'm glad you really appreciate the stream and you like my personality. I deeply appreciate it. I try to build a community of people who celebrate the hobby and want to be a part of it. So I'm happy to have you along, man. Hopefully, my plan is, when I get a little bit more free time, I'm working on some podcast episodes I've recorded. One podcast I'm doing is with my dad. So Papa Wizard will swing by at some point, I'm sure. But my dad and I we're doing a podcast talking about 40K, and my buddy JD, who was here in the very beginning and is unfortunately no longer here with me, he and I are doing an Age of Sigmar podcast. So if you're interested, I've recorded the first episodes. They're a little rough. I'm doing some editing on them, but I got to get some scripts written for the next episodes, and I just haven't really had the time. But I've wanted to stream again for so long that I'm just glad to finally be back. So, but Wilson, I will be checking out your stuff. I don't despise AI. I want to, and I don't blame you for using it. It's just a tool to help people with a barrier of entry. So, I'd love to check it out. In fact, once I get to a good stopping point, I'll see if I can pull it up and we can hang out and listen to it on stream. That'd be great. If you want a good community, Dark Pact Gaming on YouTube is great. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, absolutely. I was so focused on building a good community. I've met some really nice people on here. Final Gaming, Lady Valrath is also great. I absolutely love their content. So, I try to hang out with them every now and then when they stream. Of course, they are a dirty, filthy, disgusting Xenos player, but I can't hold it against them too much. Luke, I remember back when you used to be doing shorts and you were uploading daily until you got to Porphyrion. I was part of your 17 subscribers. You were, Luke, and you were. And here's the Porphy, as my wife calls him. Of course, I told my wife, and I can't wait until I get to do so next year. It's still available now online on Warhammer.com. If it's still available next year, I told her I will be buying the Knight Asterius, and I will be live streaming and building the Asterius every single step of the way, just like I did with the Porphyrion. So, next year, if it's still available for purchase on their website, I will be buying an Asterius. Just you wait. But Wilson, I will check out Dark Pact Gaming. I've not seen any of their content, so I would love to check that out. By the way, I didn't say this earlier because I do have a YouTube short series I did, which only lasted a month. So actually, technically 2 months, because I had to stop recording every day because my wife was having surgery. But I did start uploading daily Warhammer content until I own an Acastus Knight Porphyrion, which clearly now I own. But my Acastus Knight Porphyrion, I love it. It is my favorite model of all time. It's my favorite model that GW has ever made. I'm glad I finally have it. And I cannot wait until I can get the twin brother, the Acastus Knight Asterius. I'm a huge Imperial Knights guy. I don't know if that's been made obvious or not. I hope so, because if I haven't, I don't think I've been doing my job very well. But one of the things about it is I've been doing predictions. So for what I expect to see in the next edition as far as Imperial Knight releases goes. And I did this before 11th edition. Okay, hold on. I gotta read this here. I saw this. Wilson says he also does giveaways, and when he reaches 2,000 subs, he's giving away an Armageddon box. Ooh. I do like me some Armageddon. I might have to. And then try and see if I can win that box. But I will be checking it out for sure. I'd love to be able to do that. I'd love to get to even 500 subscribers. But you know what? If I'm being honest with you, I kind of like being a small-time YouTuber. I need to make more content, more videos. Which in reality is what I should be doing. But there we go. Ha ha. Lance. Finito. Luke, he is he? This doesn't even look like a piece to a model. It looks like a giant pen, and a little longer than a pen. This is crazy good. All right, so we got that there. I've got my Ion Shield Gauntlet. I opted for the Fisted Hand. I still feel like having the arm where the spear is inverted so it's stabbing down into the ground is the way to play this out. I think that's the way to do this. We'll see. Okay, next up is D12. So I need to cut off some cabling. Now, this is a small cable. I think it's this one. Yep, that's a 12, all right. Okie dokie. Now, where the heck does this go? It's on the front. Interesting. Okay, so there's a square tab. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay, I see now. Sorry, I'm a little... Okay. So it goes in here. And here, like that? Yeah, okay. Well, that's how it fits. Okay, alright. My bad. I need to verbalize. I'm so out of practice. I would normally verbalize my thought process, but... Alright. I'll tell you what, I've been working on coming up with names and whatnot for all of these nights. I have been busting my butt to make this work. Let me get some pieces here. I've kind of been working on coming up with a name for every Imperial night for my night house. I've got, technically, it's multiple night houses. We're just going to bring over the box of shame here, so we're just going to set this down. Yes, it's falling apart. Don't mind it. So, oh, scheisse. Let's see. Oh, Wilson posted something. If you're a regular as well and interact, I can see if he'll add your channel to his links so his community can also sub to you. That'd be great. I'll have to check it out. I'll actually, you know what? As soon as I'm done with the stream, I'm going to go pull up his stuff. So we're going to pull this out here. So I have a whole bunch of... I have one of every Cerastus night now, which I am very excited for. I need to get this all figured out. I was going to show off... here it is. There's this one. And then there's the Mega Bolter. Okay, sorry about that. This is just absolute mess here. Normally I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not more organized than this. It is what it is. So, I'm coming up with names, right? For all of my stuff. I have 30 gauge copper wires somewhere I'm going to be using to do some nice lightning effects. But, so I've made this base. I carved out a Doom Scythe to make this nice, like, action-y, I guess action rock. Tactical rock, that's the pose. That's what I'm looking for. Tactical rock. But I have this, like, Captain Morgan leg stand kind of pose thing going on, which I think looks really good, by the way. Just FYI. But one of the things I really, really want to do is... got my Cerastus Knight Castigator, and it's going to be posed where it's kind of tilted back so it's looking up a little bit. So you got this kind of like nice, neat pose going on here. One of the things I really want to do... get this put together real quick and I'll show you. I'm gonna... I promise my streams aren't normally this boring, but... also a little scatterbrained because I haven't been streaming much as of late. So I'm going to have the arm up, kind of like this action 1980s pose where the gun's up and the sword's kind of down. And my plan is to have this like action, like pensive pose for my Castigator. Which, can I just say, does this not look freaking sick? I think this looks really freaking good, personally. I don't know if you guys agree necessarily. I think this looks really nice. But I've been trying to come up with a name for it, and I don't have a good name. So my heraldry for my night house is a black stag on a yellow field. I've heard all the Game of Thrones jokes, so if you say one, I might chuckle a little bit. But my house is called the Wild Court, and that's kind of like the vibe I'm going for in terms of look. And I was like, okay, I need a name. The Castigator specifically is the knight that my High King is going to be piloting. So I want to have like a name that's like the king of all the stags or whatever have you. And I like High Gothic, right? I like to use like a fake Latin kind of thing. Dude, this is not boring. This is exactly what hanging out with mates in a hobby store or something like that, nerding out. This is a happy space. Well, thank you. I normally try to keep it about like what I'm building and stuff, but I mean, come on. That pose is so cool. Just that action movie pose. Anyway, I need to get it painted so I can glue it down and everything. But Also, it kind of looks like my knight's doing the moonwalk. Anyway, so I'm trying to come up with a name for it, and I was like, the King of the Stag, or Stag King, or King of all Stags, or something in Latin would work really, really well, I think, right? So I'm kind of working on like, okay, what would that look like? What would that sound like? And so I've done some research. Latin for stag is cervus, Cervus, right? Spelled weird, sounds like a normal name, whatever have you. It's fine. I don't like Cervus very much. It's okay. It's not the best in the world. I'll work on the base later. I'm working on the Lancer. I can't get distracted. But I was like, okay, I could take it and like bastardize it. High Gothic isn't exactly pure Latin, you know. I could go like Cerastus Rex or, let's see. He should be streaming soon, usually about 8:15. Put a pic in your Discord general. Oh, thank you, Wilson. I'll have to check it out. I will check it out. I plan on streaming at least until I run out of music on here, because I do have other responsibilities around the house, unfortunately. But I will check out the music, though, I promise, before I end stream. So I will be running over there and kind of hanging out and checking it out. What was I saying? So I was like, okay, I could do like Cerastus Rex or something like that, or whatever have you. But then I came up with, because Rex is Latin for king, so bastardized Cervus and Rex and all. Yeah, I can't twirl it like I can't twirl it normally. But I was thinking, like, there's an old archaic term for a group of deer or a group of stags, and it's called a rangale. And I was like, I don't know. Do we think Rangale Rex is a good name for that night, for the castigator? The pic in Discord is my Space Wolves first one. Ooh. All right, we're gonna stop building for just a second. I have to pull this up. Hopefully it'll work. Give me 1 second here. We got to go to mini showcase. Oh, you said it was in general. Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? I'm going to show this on stream real quick. That looks really good. Give me 1 second, ladies and gents. We're going to ignore that. I should have made sure that all that was minimized. Oh, well, we're just going to pop that up. Discord. Check this out, everybody. That looks really good. That looks really good. I like that paint job, too. That looks fantastic. You should be proud of this. This is really freaking cool. Nice. You should be proud of that. You should be really proud of that. That looks really good. I need to get OBS set up. I need to get a better desk set up, which is something I'm planning on doing when I get my bonus this year. Anyway, sorry. That looks really good. You should be proud of that. That looks really nice. So, all right. Let's see. I need D16, 15, and 18. Okay. 16, 15, 18, and 17. Okay. Okay. 16, 17, 18. And here's 15. There we go. Okay. All pieces found here. Okay. So that's where this piece goes. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Now I see how this kind of aligns. Okay. Cool. Alright, well, let's do some trimming here. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working with. I'm hoping to come up with some good names. I don't know. I don't know that I like Rangale. Or if I should just bastardize Stag for the name. But I think either way. Either way, I think it'll work. This house, my Lancer goes to my other night house, which I have not actually talked about very much on stream. House Kirkwall. Got some really cool ideas. I don't know, like, in theory, I can picture it in my mind's eye, and I think it works really well, but I think when I tell people the color scheme I'm going for Kirkwall, it always weirds them out a little bit, because I'm going for a bright orange, like an almost yellowy orange, a candied apple red, and in the orange specifically are thin black pinstripes. And their heraldry is 2 crossed silver keys. And like, I think it works. I've got a whole bunch of different sizes of painter's tape that I'll be setting up. And I've been trying to think about how to do the black pinstripes in the bright orange. So my thinking is I'll paint whatever panels are going to be orange. I'll paint them black first. Hit them with Kirkwall, did I hear? Yes, Kirkwall. That is my other night house I'm building. That's what the Lancer is going to be part of, is House Kirkwall. Is all my melee-based units. Sorry, I kind of zoned out trying to make sure I wasn't cutting my finger. If I had a nickel for every time I sliced a finger open on stream with a hobby knife, I'd at least have $1. $800. There we are. But yes, Kirkwall. That's a bright candy red, a bright yellowy orange with black pinstripes, and crossed silver keys. Now, I've got some ideas. I'm going to paint every panel that's going to be orange. I'm going to paint black first. Put down some really thin painter's tape. So that way I can get the pinstripes, and I'll make sure they're nice and evenly spaced. And then I'm going to paint titanium white over the top of the black. Paint a pale yellow over the top of the titanium white. And then airbrush my orange on. Which I think would be really good. How funny, my name is Kirk and my favorite color is crimson red. It's nice to know I just stole your identity from my night house. That's funny. That's really coincidental. That's funny. I've based each of the families in their names, which are bastardized, off of my actual families. So my dad's side of the family is House Wild Court. Their heraldry, their family crest is 3 black stag heads on a yellow field with a gray chevron. And my mom's side of the family, they have that same heraldry of it's alternating red and orange stripes with black pinstripes in the orange and silver keys. Make sure you start working on a script to give yourself a painting boost. Well, firstly, it's so good to see you, dude. How you been, man? I haven't had a chance to chat with you in a hot minute. But I will do. I promise. I will be working on the script. Fun fact, actually, yesterday I was painting my blackout miniatures, and I am like so close to done. I am ready to start painting the fatigues red on the models, and then I'm done with them. Right? I've got 4 of them are still need a little bit of work to get them to that same point, but the rest of the 17 are ready to go. And I was like, I am procrastinating. I should be writing a script right now. So. It's good to see you, man. How you been? I've been watching you with your Conquistador Space Marine stuff, which, by the way, the bits look really, really good. By the way, I'm glad they're coming along quite nicely. I can't wait for the full painting tutorial video. I noticed you went with Spanish Inquisition Ultramarines though. Hey, Lady Valworth Games. It's so good. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for swinging by. Oh my God, I've been sitting here hanging out with these wonderful people. I was just talking about you just a second. Both of you actually, Final and Lady Valworth. I'm talking about both of you, not even like 10 minutes ago. I was chatting out both of your channels. Club B says, maybe better to do the other way around, as black will cover with less passes if you don't have a huge difference in layers once the tape is removed. Okay, so yes, you're right. The problem is the pinstripes are really skinny, and the amount of painter's tape I'd have to do the orange and then space would be a lot more paint, so I'm scared about ripping more paint off. So that's why I was going to do the black first, put the tape down, which is the skinnier tape, and then do white over the top of the black to neutralize the black, and then do yellow over the top of the white, and then do the orange. It's more steps, but it's not bad. Wilson, have a good rest of your stream. You got to put the kids to bed, then you're going to go eat dinner. Well, thank you so much, Kirk. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you for swinging by and saying hi. And thank you for the shout out. I will listen to that music you made, and I will be checking out Dark Pact Gaming after the stream is over. So thank you so much, man. It's been great. Yeah, I panicked, and instead of Black Templars, I probably painted some up. You probably paint some of the helmets as BT. That's not bad. They look good. They really do. They look fantastic. You posted some minis through the Discord. I saw that you posted some. I actually not even that little bit ago. I opened up Discord to show because Wilson was posting his first Space Wolf that he did, and I literally just pulled up Discord and saw that you posted some stuff. And by the way, they look fantastic. They really do. They look great. And I'm watching your shorts as well. I've been a little busy that I haven't been able to stream as of late. I've told everyone else here, but my wife a couple weeks ago was in the hospital. She had a pain in her left eye. We ended up getting to the hospital where she had to get an MRI done because there was like a blind spot forming in her eye. And she had a swelling on her optic nerve. And to make a really long story short, she has been diagnosed with MS. And I've been taking care of her here at the house and taking her to work on my days off and whatnot. So it's really eaten into streaming time. So she's working from home today, so I don't have to leave to go handle that or anything today, which is really good. So I'm glad that we're kind of at a normalcy. She's doing okay enough that I can start streaming again. Next week, I hope to be back. I'll be streaming on Thursdays instead of Wednesdays, but I will be back to streaming again. It'll also be earlier in the day. That's assuming, however, work doesn't screw my schedule over, which unfortunately has been happening a lot as of late. So. Luke says, "Final, you blueberry." He accepts this moniker proudly. Do not get me wrong. He loves it, so he's fine. And Lady Valor says, "Thank you for the shout out to my channel." I know, absolutely. You have great content. I love swinging by and watching you stream when you can. When I have the time and you're streaming. It's really a lot of fun hanging out with you and watching you build your stuff. So, absolutely. You don't even have to thank me at all. I genuinely enjoy watching you build and paint. Your content's fantastic. Just keep up the good work. We need more wholesome Warhammer hobbyists out there. There's a lot of people out here just being super negative on the hobby, so more positivity is always a good thing. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Hopefully, when I'm done painting up my blackout models, I really hope to be back and working on my knights again. I've gotten the itch. The itch is back, and I didn't get to tell you yet, by the way, Final. My wife, as a wonderful thank you kind of present, she has made a purchase for me. She has bought me a Knight Destrier, which is coming in the mail. I'm going to drop everything. I'm going to knock over all of my Fantic stuff. So, yes, I have also, I'm not included in that? Oh, Luke, no, you're great. Absolutely. Everybody's included. What are you talking about? You never have to ask. You're always included by default. You're painting on the captain from the Armageddon box? Ooh, you finally seeing the light of the Empire, huh? Finally joining us Simperials out here. Well, we're happy to have you. All right. Where on earth does this go? Where does this go? Oh. 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 What? This goes like that? Well, it does seem to fit. Am I reading this right? These instructions, man, I swear. Holdovers from the Forge World instructions suck. Okay, hold on. We're going to look at this real quick. No, that is correct. Okay, all right. We're doing okay. All right, let's see what Vile Heresy Final said in the chat here. Is that just so she can say you have unpainted knights again? Joke's on you, buddy. Almost all of my knights are still unpainted. I just have primed 4 of them. Also, no. My wife is ow! Doing it as a thank you for all the work I've been doing for her here at the house, taking care of her and whatnot. So, that's a nice model you're getting in the mail. I'm excited. I really am. I've been doing a lot of list building. There's another friend of the channel and member of the community, Her Krieger, has been hanging out with me quite a bit. We've been doing some list building here. So, let me set the stage for everyone once more. I plan on going to Warhammer tournaments, and my dream was to be the first person to bring a Porphyrion to the Las Vegas. I did not get another nickel. I'm not bleeding. I just bumped it. Although it hurt, so maybe. But I really want to bring the Porphyrion with me on tournaments. So I have been working with Herr Krieger, who's another really big Imperial Knights player in the community, to build a list of knights out for the Porphyrion to make it the best possible list for the Porphyrion, which I'm super stoked about. So the Destrier is part of that list. I need maybe one more Destrier to make the list work properly, but that's a price I'm willing to pay closer to Christmas when I have money. See, okay. All right, here's what we're going to do. So this... Okay, so this slides in like this. Ah. Or do I want the arm upside down? Either way, I want this arm in the right position. Let me see here. No, I could have it standing like this. Yeah, no, that would work. Okay, sorry. I'm coming up with the pose idea. So I was showing it off earlier, and I kind of showed off the Castigator and the pose I was working on for it. I want a relaxed stance as well for the Lancer. I was thinking originally we could do like a Spartan stance with the shield out, kind of like this, and then the lance coming up over the top. I don't know that I can make that work per se, but I think it would still look kind of cool. But I think I'm going to go for an incredibly relaxed stance where he's kind of holding it up like this, like a hoplite or a guard almost. I think that would look really cool. And I was kind of contemplating, do I want to have it where he's stabbing the spearhead down? But I think Luke, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing, brother? I think I'm gonna have it where he's holding the spear up, like a guard would be, almost, you know, and having the lance at a relaxed position. I think that would look really good. Also, it's just kind of fun to fidget toy. Anyway, yeah, so I think that's what I'll do, is I will, yeah, have it in a relaxed position. I'm going to leave the lance, if I can, loose, because I have to build the arm to measure it against the torso, which is not even constructed yet, but I can use the Castigator torso to make that work. So I'm going to have to figure out how to glue this down without gluing the lance in a position. Which is going to require me being incredibly patient, which is something I'm not good at. But that's okay. But yeah, I'm excited. I've been doing a lot of work with Krieger as well, to work on my list for my Porphyrion, which I'm very excited for. And I know I'm going to need a couple of Destriers to make that work. And I'm going to need a lot of Armigers. A lot of Armigers. By the way, Final, I still need to get with you today if you have any time. I need to work out some scheduling stuff with you as well, because I still want to do that show with you, and I'd love to find that time. Obviously, my schedule with work is a little all over the place, but I kind of had a feeling it would be when we had a guy quit on me. So just let me know whenever you're down. We'll get together. I'd love to do it today if we can, but if you're busy, I understand it. Because somebody has models I mailed him, and I'm waiting for that video to come out. Okay, I think that'll work. If I'm very ginger about where I'm putting the glue, and I'm putting the glue mostly on the outside of the plastic, I should be fine. Okay, we're just gonna... Yes, Luke, a collab. I'm trying to ride off the successful coattails of Final. You're slowly building up a chaos army, Lady Valrith. Get out of here. We don't accept any heresy in this wholesome community. You can stay. It's fine. I pay at least 6 psychers a month to the Emperor's OnlyFans. Okay. I need a... I gotta go. Are you supposed to cut off the foot tag thing? Okay. You're gonna... Hold on. I gotta unplug my headset. You're gonna hear battery. No, it didn't do anything. It didn't say battery low. Alright, I'm gonna show you something here. I've made serious mistakes. So we're gonna talk about Blackout for a second, everybody. Now, listen. If you at all manhandle these things, those tabs will break off just fine on their own. You don't need to worry about that. But, this is a very cheap painting handle. It's, I think it's really high quality stuff. I super glued an alligator clip to a pill bottle. Shocker. Perfect thing you could do. If you have tweezers or whatever have you, I like to use the tabs. You will want to cut them off eventually. Don't get me wrong. But they are really good for, like, painting and holding on to a model. Because it is resin, whatever you use primer-wise can get worn off pretty easily because it's a rather smooth surface. There's a little bit of texture on all plastic. Just a tiny amount of texture. And resin tends to have a smoother finish, so it's harder to hold on to your model when it comes to paint and primer. So that's what I use the tabs for. You can notice that there are several guys, unfortunately, where there is a distinct lack of foot tab. And that is a series of unfortunate events that have occurred. Not all of them. I think these are just the 3 currently that are without foot tabs. Oh yeah, this guy's foot tab broke off, but it broke off a while ago. So yeah, you'll want to keep them if you can, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to glue them down. I have had a severe problem with this. The glue is so good. That super glue I gave you is so good. I had to break. I don't have the base in front of me. I could go get it. It's right there, but it's buried under a bunch of stuff. I had to break the old sniper unit that I had that got broken because of a cat. I had to break him off the base because he was so super glued down. The base started ripping apart. So the super glue will bind the dog mess out of your resin, and your resin will break before the glue does. So think of the super glue as Cadia. The model broke before the glue. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'd keep the foot tab if you can, and just use that to hold the model by for painting purposes. If you want, and you want to stick to your normal pinning method while painting, you can. Just be very careful with the resin. You can drill into it. It doesn't normally like to be drilled into. So just be slow and steady with it, and you'll be fine. But other than that, honest to God, a good pair of, and this I've seen a lot of use, I've got compression tweezers, so they automatically, these are pretty tough, so you have to really squeeze them, but you have to squeeze them to unhook them, and then just, yeah. Oh, you found out how fragile it was? No! What happened? Okay, hold on, before you say anything, this model, one of these models, no, it is this model. I painted it. It looks good. I painted it. This model, you can't tell, broke into 5 pieces. Our kitten, for those in the know in the community, we adopted and saved kittens and had them on stream and whatnot. It's great. Kitten got a hold of this and broke it into 5 pieces. I had to super glue it back together. You can't even really tell because the breaks are typically pretty clean. So if you have a good solid super glue or enough patience, you can actually re-glue models back together really easily. It's not hard to do at all. I will say, I love Blackout. Blackout, the model sculpts are fantastic. The one downside is, and I will throw out, it's partly painted. This is a City of Sigmar guy, and this is a Blackout Mini. They are about the same size. Blackout's a little taller, unfortunately, but it's also way skinnier. Warhammer tends to be what they call heroic scale. These are more of a realistic scale, a true scale, and because of that, arms and weapons and heads are a lot skinnier than normal Warhammer stuff, which is a shame because it means while it's truer to scale and there's a lot more detail on these minis, they are fragile as hell. And I have had to rebuild multiple guys that have been broken because of a cat. Because she takes them, and she grabs them, and sprints off with them constantly. And I hate having to deal with it. But I love her to death. She's adorable. Cat's kind of a bitch. It's the one and only time I'm going to cuss on stream, I hope. I don't think I've cussed earlier. But I can't wait to get the proper camera equipment, by the way, to show you guys. I've been busting my ass on these paint jobs. Part of the issue is lighting, because all I have is a single desk lamp. And it's not even pointed straight down, by the way. It's actually pointed more horizontally to the desk, but it still just drowns out the models. But it's the only way that you can see anything, because if I turn things off and I'm fiddling with small bits, this is okay. You just can't see the smaller stuff that I'm working with, because all I have is the natural light from the ceiling light. So I say natural, it's still man-made, but you get my point. Anyway, I'm so sorry to hear that one broke, though. That's so sad. They're so fragile. I treat my Blackout models like they're my children, because if I don't, they break very easily. So, yeah, anyway. piston. All right, I need to get Sprue A. I'm fucking around. Why are you up on the dresser? You almost knocked my knight down, you bastard. Okay. Well, am I glad I moved my blackout models, because the cat just got up on the dresser where I was keeping them safe, out of reach. This is B. This is an empty A. Oh, this is an extra A. Oh, this is from another Cerastus kit. Got it. Okay. Sorry about that. No! Ah! Okay. All right. Final. I wish you had messaged me, man. Yes. Okay. All right. Resin. All right. Fun facts, just for people who are not in the know. Resin has a tendency to warp when it gets transported for any number of reasons, but mostly due to temperature. These guns are actually not that bad, but you can tell they are warped. Best way to deal with warpage, and the only way someone should deal with warpage, is hot water and some time. I had a model. I'll pull it out here. I've got other blackout models to pull out just to show. If anybody ever works with resin, Forge World or otherwise, this is actually a rather common problem. I primed these guys already, except for the drone guy, which is still attached to his gate. You can kind of tell, if I kind of do this here, the tip of his gun was bent at an almost 90-degree angle. I had to dip the nozzle of the gun into hot water for about 10 seconds and was able to bend it back with my fingertips. But resin does not bend like plastic. It is incredibly fragile. You're going to post the shield from the captain in my Discord. Well, Lady Valrath Games, I hope you're posting it in mini showcase, because I'm going to have to pull it up now. You can't tempt me with a good time and then expect me not to partake. Yeah, hot water. Hot water is your friend. I'm sure you've learned that lesson by now. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have told you had I known it was an issue, my buddy. I didn't open your box at all. Otherwise, I'd have looked for you. Okay, let's open this up. We're going to close that down. Mini showcase. Okie dokie. Alright. Alright, let's pull it up here. We're going to pull up the desktop cam. Okay, so I've got some nice stuff here. I actually have viewed these. I need to go back and like those, because they are looking really good, by the way. You should be proud of yourself, because it does look good. But, let me see here. Mini showcase. Ah, there it is. Wow. Wow, that looks really good. That looks really, really good. Man. You know what I love about it is that, as of right now, because it looks like you've primed it purple for quite a bit for the base layer there, and the gold really pops because of it. That is really nice. See if I can zoom in here. Yeah, that's a really good paint job. You should be proud of that. You should be really proud of that. Ah, man, if you get the purity seals painted up, are you gonna do the sorry, slight yawn. Are you gonna do the ribbon here in a different color, or are you gonna do it in like a different metallic? What's your plan there? Because that would look really nice. Yeah, that looks fantastic. I am a little jealous. I need to get back to painting so bad. But I've been painting these blackout minis. I've got a competition coming up here. I'm thinking. So in the Blackout Discord, wrong one. I'm in the Blackout Discord. They have been posting that you can actually make submissions for their painting competition that they're doing, which is coming up. I'm actually planning, once they're done, because my models are very close to done, I'm actually planning on submitting all of my models in under separate submissions, because there's like different units and stuff. It is a sick shield, Lady Valor. It is a absolutely sick looking shield. You should be absolutely proud of it. You airbrushed the model too. Just superb. Superb. Well done. You should be proud of that. It looks really, really nice. I am I'm a little jealous. I need to get back to painting. You have besmirched my reputation on my own live stream. I cannot be upstaged on my own channel on painting jobs. So prepare. The gauntlet has been thrown. I have smacked your face with a glove. I challenge you to a duel. Because now I have to paint my knights and have to make your stuff look way better. And when you finish, you're going to post it again? You absolutely should. It looks really good. I genuinely, the gold trim, I can't paint trim like that to save my life. I usually have to go back over and brush the original layer to do some cleanup every single time. But it looks really good. Be proud of yourself. Be really proud of yourself. Okay, here we go. Should we trim these down a little bit? By the way, these sanding twigs with their super high grit count have come in super handy. Super handy. Okay. I hope you realize, Final, I wasn't trying to make fun of you or anything. I kind of feel bad. I think it came across that way. I am so sorry if it did. Was not trying to make fun of you at all, dude. It happens. You primed it gray and then Nagrath Knight with Leviathan purple. Ooh. That looks really nice. That really, really nice. You know, I actually, I was kind of talking about it. I want to do this for my mom as like a Mother's Day gift next year. Hopefully, if I have the money. She really liked the look of the Harridan, the Tyranid Harridan model. Of course, insert joke here about all women getting into it. It's too late. I'm offended. That's, you know what? That's fair. I can't even be mad at you for that one. But my mom really liked the Tyranid Harridan insert joke about women liking Tyranids every single time. Even my wife loves Tyranids. But my mom really likes the Harridan because it looks an awful lot like a dragon from the game series Panzer Dragoon. And I have vivid memories of sitting on the couch watching my mom play Panzer Dragoon for literal hours. My mom played so much Panzer Dragoon. She put so much time into playing Panzer Dragoon that I think she's played more Panzer Dragoon than she ever played Hogwarts Legacy. To give you an idea, my mom has over 2,200 hours in Hogwarts Legacy. She loves that game. She beats that game. She's 100%ed it dozens of times, and I'm not even joking when I say dozens. And I would love for Mother's Day to get her that Harridan, take it and modify it ever so slightly so that way it looks like the Panzer Dragoon with the horn on the front of it, and paint it up in that kind of art style. You know, blue skin tone, yellowy orange eyes, which there's no eyes on the Harridan, but and almost bone white armor. I think it would look really cool. I think it would just be a really good Tyranid paint scheme, period, but just have like that white armor, blue skin. I just think it would look really cool. Nice. Okay, that looks good. Next up, keep closing my instruction booklet. A32, A32. Let's go. But first, Coke Zero break. Oh no! I didn't open it. I almost went Kermit the Frog there for a second. Oh no! I didn't open it up to the correct page in the instructions. Yay! I've been told I should start doing impressions on stream, so one of these days I'm just going to have to do, like, one whole stream is like Scooby, or Scooby and Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Like, watch out, Scoob. I'm gonna deep strike your Wraith. That would be a sick project. I agree. I'm getting a bonus at the end of the year, which I've mentioned a few times, since I'm very excited for. I don't know how much it's going to be or anything like that, but the bonus I'm going to be using to the Return of Space Pope. Actually, yes, I've got it figured out, by the way. The issue I was running into, fun fact, I had a graphics driver that is interacting poorly with an update that they did to Rogue Trader. And I ended up having to re-download my graphics driver, so it is ready to go. And once I have more free time where I can sit down and actually play a game for several hours instead of 20, 30 minutes at a time, Space Pope is coming back. I am excited to do Space Pope again. That was a lot of fun. I'm very excited. But yes, I think it'd be a great project. I'm going to be getting, hopefully, whenever that bonus comes in, I'm going to be getting a better camera. I'm going to get a stand for the camera, and if I have enough money left over, a brand new desk, a better desk. Because as it stands right now, this is a table I've set up. I've got the table set up here, which is a dining room table my sister gave me, by the way. And I've got all my stuff here and my second monitor on the table, and my primary monitor like 3 feet away with the actual computer off on the side. It is the goofiest freaking setup I've ever seen for a computer. But I don't really have much of a choice, unfortunately, because there's just not a lot like I can do with both desks. They're not the same height. They're not the same width. So like it's a little awkward. But at the end of the year, I want to get a brand new desk where I could actually have a proper setup. It's an L-shaped desk we were looking at. And there's a cubby section off on the side where like it clearly has stuff for display and models and stuff and whatnot. It's a gamer's desk. And then there's clearly a section in the center where the PC is meant to go. I'm going to put the computer stuff where the display section of the desk goes. And then my model stuff's going to be on the main desk. And I'll have the camera stand where it's a top-down camera like it is now, but an actual proper camera, and better lighting and a better microphone. Like, I plan on making this setup really, really good, because the reason I've slowed down on making content is, one, I want to make hobby content. I want to be able to make videos of me like building and painting and talking, like waxing philosophic about the state of Warhammer or whatever project I'm building on, or tell personal stories while I'm building models. I think that'd be great. And then, I want to make tutorials. Like, I've got, this took a lot of time to figure out how to make this pose for this night, and I love the pose, and I would love to document my building this, right? Like, there are people who are scared to paint their models, but here I am, like, actually carving up and breaking up a model that arguably is more dangerous than just ruining a paint job. And I feel like if I can document this work, I can make people a lot less afraid to paint their models, which I'm actually something I'm really passionate about. But I can't do that because I can't really record video properly, because I don't know. I don't know how to work my phone as the camera. It doesn't want to focus the way I need to. I've tried recording myself building and painting a model, and you can't see anything, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I think a proper camera would help. Luke says, "No, we need the Return or Space Marines." Yeah, I'm in. I'm looking forward to seeing Space Pope again while streaming. Yeah, that'd be great. And I can talk to people condescendingly the entire time. My mic is fine. The truth is, the reason my mic is currently fine is the mic I'm using is my gaming headset, which is great, except it's not really a perfect long-term solution. There's a lav mic I want to get, which would allow me to hear what's going on around me. And I don't have to have the music, which in my ears is always blasting my eardrums out, but I think I've balanced it enough for the stream that it doesn't matter. But it's just because this headset's just really good at picking stuff up. So, I'm kind of looking forward to upgrading some of my equipment here so I can make my streams better and actually get to making proper videos, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. And hopefully by then, my schedule is stabilized where I can start regularly recording podcast episodes because reasons. All right, it's 300. This should 3,000. Yeah, I need 5,000. Here we are. Darren Wenzel says, "Good morrow, sir. A pleasure to see you as well, Mr. Wenzel. How's it going? Well, also, welcome. Welcome to the insanity that is perhaps the largest Imperial Knights nerd on the internet. Glad to have you, and welcome to the Madhouse. I want to say, final, assuming you're still here, my goodman. I want to say thank you for your advice, by the way. Not to bring things down, as well as with someone new here joining in and checking out the stream, which, again, hey, welcome, Mr. Wenzel. I hope you feel wonderful and greeted. Is your advice about taking it easy on myself is really come in handy, less of late, because especially with all the things going on with my wife, I just really haven't had any time to do anything. And I think it's really starting to finally get through my thick skull. You do like podcasts? Yeah, I'm excited. I've got the first 2 episodes of each podcast recorded. The one with my dad is done. I just got to do a little bit of editing and get the video together. And then I want to hire an artist so I can have background for it. So I can, you know, have like a window where it's our 2 characters talking, and then I can show what we're talking about on screen. My other one, I'm probably going to have to re-record segments of it. I've been listening to it and editing it, but I just need more time. But, you know, with my wife's recent diagnosis and all the stuff going on with work and everything, it's just been a little hectic. I haven't had much chance. But I'm hoping, now that I'm back, I'm hoping to be able to get back to doing stuff like this on the reg. You think you're the 3rd largest in the Discord? You know what, Luke? That's actually, I think, a fair assessment. Final is the largest in the Discord. Just by default. You can't be too hard on yourself. That's our job. I can't take your job away from you. You're correct, Final. No, but like it's just with so much going on. I you know, the last few weeks, you know, I come home, I'll boot up a game, I'll play 10 minutes, and then I'll just stare at the main menu. You know, haven't had any time to even properly relax, and it's nice. And I think your words have finally gotten through my thick-headed skull. There we are. Articulated lateral action, as well as pitch. I think technically that's yaw, but nice. So we got that there. Next up is to build the upper arm, which I think that's 33 and 34. Okay. So we'll cut those pieces out real quick. Seeing a lot of leg pieces. There they are. 33 and 34. I'm actually super stoked, guys. I cannot tell you. My next knight project is actually not a plastic knight at all. I have had a white box sitting on my shelf for too long. I have another resin model to paint. I got to get my Knight Atropos built and painted as well. So after this, after the Lancer, I'm on to my last resin knight.
That's really cute.
Hey, there he is, JD. Welcome back. You get stuck at work?
Hello. Oh, I'm still working, but yeah.
Well, Final's in the chat. Say hi.
Final. Sorry, I muted my mic. I'm still getting used to using this boom arm.
You're good. We heard you. Say Final, so you're good. Yeah, so we're just
Final, I need you to message me. I need to talk to you about monetization on Facebook. I need your help.
Oh my lord, JD scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I can.
Is my volume too loud?
You're a little loud. It's all right though. You're just a little loud.
I can turn my input down.
Yeah, Just turn your gain down a little bit. You should be all right. But yeah, we're just sitting here chit-chatting. I've actually, my next night project is my Atropos. It's a resin night.
Is that
so
a little bit better?
A little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I got to get my Atropos painted up. I've been doing some list building stuff with Krieger in the community, and he has been talking with me about what to do when it comes to the Imperial Knight projects for the Porphyrion list building. And we've been coming up with some strategies, which I'm very excited to try. There are some serious shortcomings using the Atropos, not the Atropos, the Porphyrion as a knight, because the Porphyrion, I don't know if anyone notices, sucks. It is a good knight. It's very strong and powerful. The problem is it is 725 points, because Games Workshop does not want that knight to be a competitive knight. If it's competitive, then they've made a mistake. So,
also, apparently, this is just development. Breaking news! Apparently, there has been a leak of the new Orc Codex that's coming out, and apparently a bunch of models that are not even 2 years old are getting put to Legends.
oh wow.
And, yeah, so, I don't know how much of this is true. It's all hearsay, but all you Legends fans, or all you Orc fans,
Wow.
there you go.
I did not. Wow, that's. I mean, rumors are rumors until GW makes any confirmations. But that's crazy if that's the case. The last time you gave me breaking news, you sent me into a spiral because I was freaking out over the potential of the death of Age of Sigmar.
I mean, we could also talk about how apparently Trajan Valoris has Rogel Dorn.
Trajan the Infinite. Trajan Valoris is.
Sorry,
is
I'm thinking of
Custodes. Yeah, Luke posted in our community here. Real Luke, big Imperial Fists fan, posted in Discord about Rogel Dorn. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. He's got to. They're going to bring back all of them.
Dorn.
They're going to bring back all of the Primarchs eventually. So, might as well.
I mean, you could always take a big step into, take your big step into going Tau like you always wanted to.
You, Real Luke, Edward, and Final Gaming have started those filthy, disgusting, and hurtful rumors.
Listen, the only thing hurtful is the fact that you're hiding, okay? Just come out. Just come out as a lover of all things Tau.
You know what? You're right. I love Tau. I love it when I get to turn them into a red or blue mist with my knights. And that's what matters.
We have knights too.
No, you have battle suits, all right? Mine are the LARPing kind. Yours are the Weeaboo Love Rock kind. A37, A36. Okay, so that'll be the last piece for this arm. Then I need to build the Ion Shield Gauntlet arm. And then...
What do you build now?
What? I'm sorry?
What are you building on now?
I am finishing up the arm for the Lancer. The actual lance for the Lancer. So I've got that getting cut out now. And then I got to finish the Ion Shield Gauntlet arm. And then I'm done. I am finito with the arms for the Lancer. Next on is the torso, and then finally I will do the legs. I've actually been enjoying this quite a bit. It's a really big lance too. This thing is ginormous.
Rather girthy.
Yeah, I would. I don't know that I'd throw the word girthy on live stream, but yeah, putting the robes, putting on the robes of the Tau. How dare you, Lady Valrith? I would never. I am a Simperial, all right? I subscribe to the Emperor's OnlyFans. I sacrifice 699 psychers a month.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
But yeah, I could see Rogaldorn being in Trajan's pocket. It's got to be he's got to
His
be out
prison
there. He's got to be out there somewhere. You know, Rogaldorn, like all of the Primarchs will eventually return to the setting. All of them. Even the lost ones. That is my belief. And if that happens, we have to have a way for Rogel to return. I could see him being trapped by Trajan the Infinite. So I'm in. I like it. I like the idea.
Some people are saying it's a load of poopy, but who knows?
Well, some people. I think it is what it is. You're always gonna have that. I'm so happy he's alive. I thought he was dead. Oh, come on. All they had was a hand. They didn't have a corpse, so no body, no death. That's how it works. And he'll come back. I think when he comes back, though, you think Sanguinius is dead? If they bring him back, they're gonna break the whole death scale. You say, well, here's the thing: is he completely gone? Let me throw something out here for you. In the original lore, Ferrus Manus was cloned perfectly multiple times by Fabius Bile, and the clone managed to regain his memories of the dead Ferrus Manus, and was killed multiple times by Fulgrim because the clone refused to join him. Horus was cloned by Fabius Bile, and after his death at the hands of the Emperor, and he also managed to get his memories back and was recalling who he was pre-corruption. Clone Fulgrim, same thing. Even though Fulgrim isn't even dead, he was regaining the memories of what happened even when Fulgrim was a demon, and he expressed regret for all the things that he did as Demon Fulgrim, even though the clone didn't do any of those things. So Sanguinius,
because the warp.
Sanguinius could be. So okay, we're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. I have a theory, and my theory is I call it the Bluetooth soul theory. All right. So if you imagine it like this, right? We know for a fact because Leman Russ stabbed himself with, I believe it's the Dionysian spear, where he can then understand the truth nature of a thing when he attacks something with a spear. And he stabbed himself with it, and he learned a horrible secret that the Primarchs are somehow entities of the warp, right? That's all we know about them, but we know that that's the case. We know that clones, perfect clones, even of dead Primarchs, with Horus and Ferrus Manus, can eventually, as long as their souls, as long as the clone is perfect, can regain the memories of the Primarch before they had died, right? So Ferrus Manus and Horus both. And remember, Horus's soul was supposedly obliterated by the Emperor when that happened, right? So how is it that Horus and Ferrus Manus are able to and Clone Grim, we can't forget Clone Grim, are able to regain their memories when both Ferrus Manus and Horus were dead? And not just dead, Horus's soul was supposedly obliterated by the Emperor and turned into a black hole within the warp. Now, could they have retconned the story with Horus? Yes. Could they have retconned the story with the clone of Ferrus? Less so, but possible, yes. But they haven't retconned Clone Grim. Like, they've even referenced Clone Grim relatively recently, where he's still trapped within the vaults of Trajan the Infinite. So, it's possible, very possible, that, death, that Clone Grim could have been retconned, but it doesn't seem very likely. So, where does this leave us? How is this possible? I think what's happening here is that the bodies of the Primarchs are anchors for the spirits that were created. I think the spirits of the Primarchs are minor warp gods from humanity's past, right? Vulcan's made up of all the craftsman gods. That could be your actual Vulcan or a Hephaestus or I forget the Norse crafting god or the Egypt. I think all of them have like aspects of minor deities from humanity's past in the warp. He's built the souls together, and then he created the bodies of the Primarchs as a vessel to house those souls. There's an organ in the brain of the
pineal gland.
Stop it. There's an organ in the brain of every Primarch that is designed to like house their essence in the warp. We know this because the organ was not properly cloned when Alpha Primaris, the supposedly Primaris Marine that Belisarius Cawl made, he found out that he's basically like very much like a Primarch in one of the books when he traps a demon and tortures him for information, right? So Alpha Primus does have a version of that organ, but it's malfunctioning, and it says like his body pulses like something's trying to tear its way through his flesh, and it could be that the soul of Alpha Primaris is not fully grounded inside because the organ is not working properly, and so like it's trying to contain too much energy, right? Like an overinflated balloon, if you will. I know I'm throwing a lot of like theories upon theories at you, but this is from a great video by Codex Unknown, great YouTube channel, who talks about this like theory that Alpha Primus could be a Belisarius made Primarch of some kind, an incomplete one, right? So I say all of this. Where does the Bluetooth part of the theory come into play? Well, I think what happens here is the Primarchs are not their bodies, right? They're not the physical manifestations of the Primarchs themselves. The actual Primarch is the soul within the warp, which is released when the body is fully killed. As we've seen when Dorn cut off the head of Alfarius, or when Fulgrim cut off the head of Ferrus Manus. A lot of head chopping. Now,
in some head.
I think what happens is if a new vessel is forged that perfectly mimics the original vessel of the soul, that the soul will connect to that vessel, and that will start to and that's why you see Horus start to regain his memories, clone Fulgrim regaining his memories from his time, while pre-corruption and post-corruption, why Ferrus Manus' clone starts to regain his memories, and it also explains why Leman Russ now knows that they are somehow entities of the warp. Because the Primarch is not the soul. The Primarch is not the body. The Primarch is the soul, and the soul is not necessarily bound to the body. It's of the warp, but trapped in the physical realm through the physical vessel. And that's what the true nature of the Primarchs are. Now, that doesn't mean that the soul can't be hurt. And I do think that that's exactly what happened with both Horus and Sanguinius. So to your point, Luke, I do think you're right. It does kind of cheapen death if that's what happened. But I think what they're going to go and do is that the Sanguinor is the last piece of Sanguinius' soul, and the rest of it is too far damaged. So if he comes back, he won't be the exact same. I think he's going to be basically just the Sanguinor. He's going to be a broken Primarch, and I think that's my theory for like the Bluetooth soul theory, if you will. I also said a lot there, and there's someone posted a message, and I want to read this real fast. So firstly, Wildcard, thank you for joining in. Wildcard 2281 says, death is not the end, but a state of being. I thought Fulgrim's soul was locked in the painting in the Palace of Slaanesh. Yes, so here's the thing. So, Fulgrim, that is, in my opinion, the worst retcon that Games Workshop has ever done, okay? And I say that because I really liked the story of Fulgrim up to that point. For me, he was the most tragic of all of the Primarchs. His original story was, he gets the Lair Blade, he's slowly being corrupted over time, so slow he doesn't realize what's happening until he tries to back out at the last minute when the sword is on its way to Ferrus' head, but the demon in the blade has corrupted him so much that the demon forces the blade to cut Ferrus' head, and in that moment, the demon, which is trapped in the painting, swaps places with Fulgrim, and now Fulgrim is trapped in the painting. So, the whole time, it wasn't his fault what happened. That is a completely separate, like, the demon did it to Fulgrim. Fulgrim was trapped. He was an honorable son that ended up getting, like, corrupted slowly and was trapped within the painting, right? Because of it. At some point, though, they retconned it. There's a story that they wrote where the Emperor's Children Marines, they recognize and they see, like, the eyes of the painting following Fulgrim. And what happens is they realize, hey, our Primarch's been acting really weird ever since he turned into a snake man. this isn't normal. That's got to be our Primarch trapped in the painting. A demon has taken over Fulgrim. So they capture Fulgrim while he's asleep, and they torture him for 3 days. Or I think it's 3 or 6. I think it's 6 days, actually. Torture him for 6 days, and it's excruciating torture, and then nothing. They give up after 6 days, and Fulgrim unhooks himself from the table and says, "Thank you for the fun time, boys," and then leaves. And then they realize, no, their Primarch is now back in his body. The creature trapped in the painting is the demon. So they retconned it where at some point they swapped places back. I don't know why. I do think personally that kind of ruins the story of Fulgrim just a little bit. But that was the original story, is that like Fulgrim was trapped in the painting and then the demon had taken over. But yeah, that does tie back to the whole like, death is not the end. It is just a change of being. I think that is absolutely, the case. I think all the Primarchs could return. It's just how will they return? Are they going to be the same? Sanguinius returning, I think he's going to be completely broken. I don't think he's going to come back normal. I don't think anyone's coming back normal. The only one that's going to be normal is Gilliman for the most part, and even he's starting to really change his mind, seeing how the Imperium is. But the Lion has aged, literally and figuratively. He's not the same man he was. He's not the fiery, angry, quick to attack, quick to kill his own men because he's upset. He's actually really chilled out quite a bit in his older age, pun intended. I think what's going to happen is every Primarch is going to come back different. I personally, when Dorn comes back, and he will come back, I think he's going to wear the armor of the Black Templars. I think he's going to don the black. And he's going to be angry Dorn. He's going to be righteously vengeful Dorn. And I think that's what we're going to see. And I can't wait to see that. Because I think it would not only be sick. I think it'd be also sick if his missing hand, they just make it a gauntlet that's got a sword attached to it. Like a giant chain sword. Or a giant power sword. And that's just where his hand used to be. I think that would be awesome.
I think he needs to have a giant power fist.
I hate you, because that is funny. Also, just still a little on the loud side there. You might turn that down just ever so slightly.
Not really close to the microphone, too.
That's fair. Wildcord says, to be honest, I don't think the angel should return. I don't disagree with you. I don't think the angel should return either. That's not... If we're talking about what we want to happen, I don't think they should return. There are Primarchs that should be gone forever from the setting period. Conrad Kurz, Ferrus Manus, Sanguinius... Damn it, there's another one that's dead and I can't remember. Anyway, obviously Alfaris, but I don't... anyway. Well, not really Alfaris. That's a different... There's a whole thing with that. But there's another one, I can't remember it now. Anyway, all the dead ones should remain dead. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think GW is going to bring him back because of that.
Magnus the Red? No, he's not dead.
Well, yes and no, because Magnus' soul is split into 1,000 pieces, and some pieces of his soul are dead and were killed. So, stupid. Stolas says, King! Yes, I am back, Stolas. It is so good to be back. It is so good to see you as well. It's so good to see you. Gilliman should have stayed gone. I don't know. I don't like Gilliman all that much, personally. So... On the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, I'm like, it's alright. Wildcard says, with Dorn, if he does return, he should get a power claw from the Emperor to replace his missing hand. That is actually a really good idea, I have to say.
Nope, it's got to be a fist.
No, come on. He could have the Emperor's talents, the power claw.
Nope.
I hate you.
No, because what's his nuts have him? Because Horus had him. Is it not?
No. Horus had something else. Horus had his own talents. That wasn't the Emperor's.
Oh, either way, he still needs a fist.
I say, okay. Royal Luke says, "Dude, you scared the crap out of me. I was painting one of my Dreadnought guns and I messed up the entire paint job because you scared the crap out of me." That's funny. Josh, keep scaring people. Stola says, "Chaos Primarchs are cooler." Yeah, you think Chaos Primarchs are? Hold on. We're gonna do a thing real quick. Give me 1 second. We're just gonna. There's my cursor. Yeah, we're just gonna look something up real fast. We're just.
system with some audio. How's that sounding?
Actually, it sounds really good. All right, you think Chaos Primarchs are cooler? We're just gonna look at something real fast. Okay? You think Chaos Primarchs are cooler? We're gonna do this real fast. You think this is cool? Horn nipples, Stolas? You think horn nipples are cool? This right here, this does it for you, huh? I have got questions, sir. I have questions for your sanity. Wildcard says Magnus' soul's been shattered several times and been destroyed. One turned into that person, and some have found. I think the thousands have found several. Yeah, so there is the shard of empathy of Magnus that is in a Loyalist Space Marine. I think if Magnus comes back, I think we're going to get 2 Magnuses. I think we'll get 2 Fulgrims and we'll get 2 Magnuses. If they keep Fulgrim, they might not. They might get rid of Fulgrim. But I do think we could see 2 Magnuses, though, with the empathy shard and whatnot. Like a Loyalist 1000 Sun would be really cool. I know Chaos Primarchs are cooler, way cool. You think the Horde nipples are cool? This is the one thing about that model I can't stand. And I like a lot of the Primarch models. I will say, you know what? No, hold on. We're going back. Hold on. We're going back. You think that's cool? All right, fine. Fine. All right. We're gonna I have to scoot all the way back to my desk, so bear with me here. All right, you think that's cool? Fine. Okay, fine. We're just gonna go. We'll just pull up Fulgrim on Warhammer.com real fast. We're just gonna scroll down. Ah, yes, here we are. The Fulgussy, my brother in Christ. The Fulgussy. You think that's cool? I'll grant you, I like Mortarion. I like Mortarion a lot. But you got the Fulgussy and the nipple horns on fucking Magnus the... I got questions for you and Games Workshop. Try insulting the Mortarius armor. I can't. The Mortarius model is really nice. Yeah, no, I have to admit, Mortarion is really fucking sick, I have to say. But Fulgrim with the Fulgussy, and you got Magnus the Red with the horn nipples. I have questions for you. I think it's pretty cool. Magnus's armor is Kino. I mean, in general, I like Magnus's armor. I don't know how I feel about the horn nipples. It's like, this gives me pause on buying them. If I ever get the model, I'm cutting off the nipples. I'm just saying. I can't do this. Lady Valor. Okay, try insulting the Mortarion model. I like the Mortarion model. The Mortarion model is pretty sick. Even I have to agree. Lady Valoreth Game says horn nipples are gross, but Angron is freaking. Listen, I have nothing bad to say about the Angron model, nor do I have anything bad to say about Mortarion. It's literally just Magnus the Red and Fulgrim. I don't know why I was blanking. We'll see. We'll see. I would love to see what the Perturabo model looks like. I bet you that's going to look really sick. That's going to look really, really sick. All I can say about the Gilliman model is the Gilliman model kind of sucks. I really don't like Chaos Fulgrim armor. Peter Turbo's armor is superior and mogs everybody. Listen, that is yet to be seen. I don't really care for Perturabo, like, pre-Demonic Ascension. I don't like Perturabo that much at all, personally. I think he's kind of whiny. But the artwork I saw of Demon Perturabo, I have to say, is freaking sick, okay? It is just a good-looking set of armor. I have to be honest with you. Like, I want to see what it looks like in full detail. They're basing the model that they are working on off of the artwork, because GW in no way, shape, or form is going to make artwork of a model that doesn't exist unless they're working on said model. So it's got to be in the works. So I am very much looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I want to see Demon Perturabo's model. I bet you it's going to look so good. So good. And if we get Dorn at the end of the edition, as the next Loyalist Primarch. One, I'll be a little disappointed because I'm going to be honest with you, Lehman Russ should be the next one to come back, personally. All right, Lehman Russ or Jagatai Khan, because they did set up Jagatai Khan. Oh no! Okay, here we go. Real Luke says Iron Warriors suck, and Solus goes, at least the Iron Warriors don't dress like bananas. We got a fucking brawl going on in the chat. This is great. I've missed this. I've missed you guys a lot. We need Horus as a demon engine. That would be a mindfuck for a model. I'd be curious to see what they do. You know what model I really want to see? You know what model I really, really want to see for a Chaos Primarch of all the Chaos Primarchs? It would be really nice to see Perturabo, because Perturabo would be the first, like, Chaos Undivided Demon Primarch. Lucky Charm says, "Sup all, not much, brother. Welcome to the chat. You're about to have a fight in the chat when it comes to Iron Warriors versus Imperial Fists. But you are wrong. Iron Warriors are cool, though they're my favorite horde. I don't dislike the Iron Warriors. I just don't like Perturabo as a character. I think Perturabo... I'm just going to say it. I think Perturabo's kind of a whiny bitch. Every problem Perturabo has is Perturabo's fault. Like, I want to build stuff, but no, everyone only ever uses me for war. Brother, you are not doing anything to build stuff when you don't have to. You're not sitting there building up planets that you bring into compliance, which you could do. You're just no, all you want to use me for is war, so that's all you're gonna get. The only person you're hurting is yourself. Lucky Charm says, I just started 40k last week, got 10 Kriegsmen and 1 Sentinel at this point. I'm just about to start Primer and Paint. Heck yeah! Listen, if you're just now getting in to 40k, firstly, we are glad to have you in the hobby. This whole setup here that I do is literally just to mimic being at a local game store. I just want to hang out with people and talk about Warhammer and have a great time. And if you're starting out with Krieg, firstly, my guy, you're in for a treat. Kriegs are just freaking cool. I love Kriegs, right? I am an Imperial Knights guy, so I do big stompy robots. I've showed it off on stream multiple times already, but I'm going to show it off again. Big stompy robots, and I like to do dynamic posing and whatnot. So this is my Knight Errant I built. I've got new ones coming in. So that's what this channel is all dedicated to. But if you've got Kriegs, my guy, you've got some really good models, and they're pretty as hell. So I hope you have fun. Keep in mind, whenever you prime and paint, you might be a little intimidated, but let me just tell you right here, right now, don't worry about it, all right? I do things where on stream, I carve apart a model. I'll show you, actually. I've got a piece right over here. Let me go get it real quick. Ignore the mess on my desk. It actually broke today, of all things. I was playing around with my Knight Defender kit that I was trying to figure out how I wanted to pose and whatnot and paint, and I broke off his leg because I carved it up so I could change the pose on the foot a little bit, and it broke off. But I've gone so far as to chop off the toes to repose them. I cut out the knees so I could repose them. So honestly, my guy, if you've got some Kriegsmen, don't be intimidated about painting. I promise you, if you think you messed up on your paint job, you can always strip it and repaint it. Don't ever worry about it. The biggest model I have for 40k is the Atreus Super Heavy Tank. Holy moly, you have an Atreus Super Heavy Tank? That is awesome. That and the Mastodon are just really good looking Space Marine models. You should be proud. Darren Wenzel, why not have Vulcan come back? I want Vulcan to come back. And I think, listen, let's get a little conspiratorial. Let's bring it in real quick, okay? I think Vulcan is coming back. All right, if there is a Primarch to bring back, Vulcan's it, all right? We are on, like, JD is a huge fan of Vulcan, by the way. Say hi, JD.
Hi, JD.
He's a huge fan of Vulcan. We're on Armageddon, all right? There's going to be a big campaign for Armageddon coming out. There's a chance we could lose Armageddon, literally and figuratively. I think Vulcan coming back during this time period would be freaking sick. So absolutely, Vulcan should come back. I want him to. But I'm also just a really big, like, Lehman Russ fan. All right, I'm like, as much of a simp for the Empire as I am. Lehman Russ is my favorite Primarch. So, anyway, Real Luke says he likes olives a lot. Olives are his favorite food. I will puke, and if I do, you're gonna have to fly to my home and clean it up, Luke. So, there. Lady Valor says the only clone army is the Krieg. What are you talking about? They're a completely normal guard regiment. What are you talking about? They don't clone people. That would be heresy. You know who else dresses silly? The Lamenters. What a bunch of dorks. Oh, you son of a bitch, Stolas. You son of a bitch. All right, you're starting fights just for the sake of it. You leave my Lamenters alone. They've gone through enough. I don't even like the Lamenters that much, but they've gone through enough. You leave them alone. Lucky Charm says, that is what's so amazing about the minis. You make him pose the scene. You're darn right. You're darn right. Which is, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Russ won't come. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Formerly Wilson Family Jewelry. Welcome back. Hopefully dinner was good. Russ won't come back until Magnus tries to destroy Fenris. He's tried to destroy Fenris multiple times. And Logan Grimnar put the smackdown on him. So I feel like he could. I feel like he could. I feel like there's a way he comes back, and I feel like he comes back soon. There's been the reason I think Lehman Russ, they haven't really been teasing him in the lore. They've been teasing him meta-wise quite a bit. But the reason they haven't teased him in the lore as far as books go, but one of the meta reasons I think he's going to return is the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels, and the Space Wolves are like the only factions that had specific models for their line. So if they do, then they've done the Dark Angels already. So, and obviously there's no Sanguinius to bring back as of right now. So I think it's possible we could see him. But you're not wrong. They could set it up where they're like Magnus tries to destroy Fenris for sure. So if I come clean the puke, can you pay me with a Porphy? Hell no. Wizard with my terrible loss trick, I might as well turn my Imperial Fist into Mentors. Ooh. Stolas says Space Wolves dress in Robin Egg Blue because pastels make their highlights pop. Yeah, I'll allow it. Have you seen the Horus Heresy era paint job for the Space Wolves, though? My God, the Horus Heresy era paint jobs are just gorgeous. That dark gray and the red, oh. I do like the light blue of the Space Wolves because it is just iconic at this point, but I understand why some people don't. JD here is actually not a big fan of their traditional paint scheme at all. He doesn't like it very much, and I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, I'm pro heresy.
So,
I am pro heresy killers.
I also really like the Horus Heresy era paint job for the World Eaters because that's a really good paint job. And the Emperor's Children. Hold on, guys. I need to take an Airbus. Inquisition was right about the Space Wolves. You son of a bitch. That was a Tzeentch demon the whole time. Leave my boys out alone. Why? Besides, your guys couldn't win a single like major conflict until the 13th Black Crusade. It took 13 times. That's all I'm saying. We whooped you guys back in the Horus Heresy, and we'll whoop you guys again. My biggest model I painted and enjoyed building was your Mars pattern Warhound Titan. Hell yeah! You have a Warhound? Oh, I bet that's a gorgeous model, too. Ugh, I'm jealous. Question regarding paint jobs. Is it okay to do your own thing as long as the entire army is matching? I genuinely love this fandom. Rage bait is the rage bait is immaculate. Yes, Stolas is really good at rage bait, and I love him for it. I wouldn't want him any other way. Honestly, Stolas, I have to say, while I've been waiting for my wife to recover and with our diagnosis and all, I have missed getting rage baited by you on a regular basis. So genuinely, thank you for swinging by. This has been a lot of fun. Honestly, Lucky Charms, you want to know the truth of it is you know what? I'll get my other model. I hope everybody does their own custom stuff. That's what I want. Custom stuff is great. You don't need to do an official paint scheme at all. And I recommend you don't. One of the aspects of this hobby that gets lost too often is the concept of homebrew and custom factions, right? At my night house, every faction I do is my own custom thing. This is a paint in progress. I've got a lot to touch up on. The glow effect, I think, is coming along actually very nicely on the weapon. But here's the thing. This custom paint scheme I'm working on, I'm black, yellow, my own custom night house with my own lore. I love this aspect. There needs to be more of this in the hobby than there actually is, and I highly recommend, especially if you're just getting started, just make your own custom thing. Do your own paint job, make your own custom thing, name your soldiers, put a little bit of you in every model you make, and I promise everyone outside of a very select few douche canoes just they are gonna be huge fans of whatever you come up with. So make your own thing. And you don't even have to make it match. That's the best part. Go hog wild. Make it crazy. Someone will come up to you and they'll try to lore check you and be like, oh, why are your guys painted different colors? That doesn't make any sense. And you could say, well, that's just what my guys do. Or you can come up with a legitimate reason for why your guys do what they do. But you don't ever have to justify anything. They're your models. You paid for them. Paint them however you want. Stolas says, I genuinely love the fandom. Stolas said that. That's why I love hanging out with Stolas. Perkysaurus says, I just got a Reaver, though I have not put it together yet. A Reaver Titan? That is awesome. Oh my gosh. I want to get a Titan one of these days. I'm hoping with my buddy here that we can 3D print an Emperor-class Titan with the walking cathedral on the back. Great stuff. Lucky Charm says, that is dope as hell. Appreciate you. Absolutely, dude. Go, yeah. You do you, man. Don't ever apologize and don't ever ask for permission. Just do whatever you got to do. Wildcard says, 40k go wild, but with the horse heresy, it really depends. Just go with Black Shields if you want to do a custom theme. Yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like, listen, it's your models. You paid for them. Who am I to judge you for doing things the way you want to do it? There are always going to be people who will judge, but for the most part, this fandom loves it when people mix their own stuff, for sure. Darren Winslow says, paint how you want to, sir. Also, they don't have to match. It's your army. Exactly. You are 100% correct. Stola says, I've run into almost no gatekeepers in 40k. I'm aware that they're around, but I'm really impressed with 40k fans. You know why? Because everybody's dealt with people who've done that kind of stuff, where people have, like, gate kept and push people to do what they think that should be done. And you know what? Sometimes it's just fun making your own shit. That's what I want to do. That's why I do what I do. Compared to Pokemon or Harry Potter, this is a well-adjusted group. You know what? You are correct, sir. If I have to see one more Vaporeon meme, I might just bleach my eyeballs. Sometimes I wonder if the internet was worth it. There we go. Just gotta clean this up a little bit. It's a little on the rough side. There we go. Yeah, I love this community. I love the hobby. I love the universe, One thing I always have to tell people is always, and I mean always, just remember that nobody is a fan of Warhammer because of Games Workshop. Everyone is a fan in spite of Games Workshop. And just remember that and you'll be fine. Lord Raptor says, a man with good taste, winky face. I hope so. Also, glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us. If you're very nice, JD might bust out and sing a Kendrick Lamar song.
All I wanted was a black Grand National. Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. Never apologize. It's a dog with fins on its head. What's wrong with them? Did I miss something? Oh, yeah, the Vaporeon? Oh, my God. Yeah, Okay, alright, listen. It has nothing to do with what's wrong with the Pokemon. It has everything to do with what's wrong with the fans of Vaporeon. That's the problem. How's that around 250 subscriber video going? You know what? You joke. It's actually coming along quite nicely. I have been working on it. I've written quite a bit of the script, and I even started doing some voice recording. So as you give me crap, and justifiably so, just remember that my feelings hurt, okay? Words hurt, and I don't want you to make fun of me. What am I doing all right? Let's find out. Someone said they subscribed earlier. 237. What the hell? Wow, I've got quite a few subscribers today. Holy scheisse. Nice. Honestly, feel like me and Final and Stolas are the OG rage of this chat. You guys really do a lot of rage baiting for sure. Lord Raptor says, I'm hoping to purchase an Imperial Knight Destrier to make it my own free blade. I'm thinking of calling it Vigilantis Raptorus or Vigilantis Scorpius. I like that. That is really good, by the way, Lord Raptor. I'm not stealing it. I am getting a Destrier this Saturday, so next week I will be working on it on stream. But this big guy right here, my Porphyrion, I've named it. So a little bit of background. We're going to talk about some lore and boring stuff. So, homebrew.
Ew.
My house is the Wild Court. Their symbol is a black stag on a yellow field. And the Porphyrion in lore, all the pilots typically serve as the executioner of a knight household. And so it's seen as dishonorable to pilot a Porphyrion, and oftentimes because they are the only pilots that are allowed to execute and kill other pilots with impunity. They can do so on their own accord. So I had to think about it. I was like, okay, well, I've got a black stag as my symbol. What is the executioner of a stag? And I was like, well, you could always go with wolf. I feel like that's been done before. So I was like, well, the best executioner of a stag or a buck is a hunter. So I named it the Hunter's Wrath in Latin. So the name of my Titan, my name of my Porphyrion, not my Titan, is Venatorus Ire, the Wrath of the Huntsman. So I love the name, though. I love the idea. So you should definitely do it, and I think Raptorus works, so keep that in mind. Stola says, lol, I caught a low punny Batman. There's no loss for Pokemon Batman. Lady Valrath says, I just finished off the shield of the captain and posted it in your Discord. I'm definitely going to check it up. Final, let me know I'm up to 238. My God, that's crazy. Welcome, Raptor. Obviously, Raptor, thank you for hopping in. We do appreciate you. I'm glad you think lore is cool. Lucky Charm says, sorry with the questions, but I want to get into Castus Knight Porphyrion and not sure if it can be played with the Krieg army as an ally. I just plan to build one. Oh, well, firstly, never apologize for asking questions. That's what we're here for. This is a community, and if you have a question, just feel free to ask. It's not a problem at all. Can you ally a Porphyrion with a Krieg army? In official tournament rules, the answer is no. It is limited to Armigers or one Questoris Knight, unfortunately. But you can ally very select few Astra Militarum forces, which you could use Krieg for, with a Porphyrion. So, like, if you could play it like as an Imperial Knights army, where all of your extra units outside the Porphyrion are Astra Militarum. In a friendly game, I think it would just be safe to ask if you can. Most people probably wouldn't have a problem with it at all, especially since it's not that great of a model in terms of play. But I love the idea personally. So. But yeah, don't ever apologize for asking questions. Still says, I've read Warhammer lore every night for years before bed, and it never ends. I love this franchise. That's why I love it too, man. I can't wait for the announcement coming very soon, teased by Henry Cavill for his show. I think it's gonna be great. I thought about picking up a knight for both of my Horus Heresy Legion and my 40k. Just don't know which one. Horus Heresy, honest to God, get a Cerastus Knight. The Lancer, the one I'm building with the shield and the spear, is actually one of the best knights in the game right now. It's a very powerful knight. But honestly, any Cerastus Knight, Lancer specifically, is great. I would say a Knight Castellan as well, also really, really good. So Knight Castellan is great, very powerful unit too. Any Questoris Knight as well. I would avoid the Destrier because I don't think it's allowed in Horus Heresy. But yeah, I think I would do the Castellan, any Questoris Knight, or any Cerastus Knight. But I highly recommend the Lancer if you get it. There is the more expensive Forge World one, the Atropos, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's $400. I don't think you need to spend that much money on it. I have, but I'm also a masochist that hates having money. So, there you go. And then before I pull up the Discord, two last messages here. Stola says, Harud Army in 2027. Yes. Lord Raptor says, I love that it's so cool. See that I was definitely thinking Vigilantis Raptorus. Yes, that's a really good name. I'm just trying to think what colors would suit. I'm so stuck. You know what the best part about this hobby is? There is no limit to what color combos you can do. And Knights especially are the absolute just loud and obnoxious visual armies if they're loyalist, that it really doesn't matter. You can do anything. I've seen hot pink and lavender as colors for Imperial Knights, and it actually looked pretty good. One of my color schemes I'm doing, and the Lancer specifically, is going to be bright red, bright orange with black pinstripes running through the orange and silver trim. I don't think orange and red go that well together, but I'm going to do it, and I think it'll look really, really good. So honestly, man, if you want to pick whatever colors you want, that's great. Good recommendation to start with. Whatever your whatever any other forces you have, whatever paint scheme you're planning on do for them, just do that. Because you can have a knight that's embedded with a faction, right? There's like stories of a specific knight that fights alongside a specific guard regiment so much that he paints his knight was changed and painted to look like the guard regiment. So yeah, it works great. Wildcard says, I don't really care about how strong it is on the table, only how cool. Still, though, Lancer, great. If you don't care about money, an Atropos, which is like $400, it's a resin model, do be warned. Also really good. But honestly, Castellan's just a really good all-rounder. I've come up with my knight pilot name. His name is Sir Lawrence von Laurentius. That's really good. I like that, actually. Okay, I'm going to start doing some Space Marines too, says Real Luke. Absolutely. You should. Stola says, Seafoam Green and Pink, Karen Questoris Knights. Give them little short haircuts, too. That's funny. Okay, alright. We're going to pull up the Discord real fast because Lady Valrath said that they finished their shield. And let's pull it up. This is really good looking. Holy moly. That's really good looking. I like how you did like a purple wash in the gold there, too. I love the purity seals, and I love that you've done. They look really, really good. I can't tell what color this is. Is that silver? Because that looks really solid, too. This is a good-looking shield. You should be proud of this. This looks really freaking good. Like, really freaking good. Like, be proud of yourself. That looks really, really nice. One of these days, I'll have a paint job that's as good. One of these days. That day is not today, because I'm not painting, but I'm getting there. Let's see. How do you get in the Discord, Lord Raptor? I will tell you. If you want to join, let me go ahead. And I will post. I will post the invite code here in the chat. It's not all the way set up because I'm terrible at setting up a community Discord, but it's very bare bones. But this is just for people who want to come in and hang out and want to post pictures of the stuff that they're making and encourage one another. Real Luke also just posted something in there, so let me go ahead and pull it up. But yeah, I've got in here, we're just going to close that. I've got in here A mini showcase and a Warhammer General where you can post news. Final's really good at posting news and updates in here, keeping people apprised of what's going on.
At first, I thought you said Final's good at posting nudes. I was like, what is happening?
Well, he's also really good at posting nudes. But he's really good at posting the news in the chat and reacting. It's really great. And then, of course, the mini showcase where people can show up, post videos of what they're purchasing. Here's Herr Krieger in his night house as it's going so far with his, which look really good, by the way. Krieger, I don't know if you're here or not. But Luke also just posted his Dreadnought, which looks really solid. Yeah, that looks really good. I love the weathering you did on the yellow there too, buddy. That looks really good. I love the little tactical base there. That looks good. This looks really good, Luke. You should be proud of yourself. But yeah, if you want to join a Discord community that's just about celebrating the hobby, hey, Krieger is here. Hello, Krieger. Please feel free, join us. We'd be more than happy to have you. Like I said, I try to be active in it when I can. I'm not as active as I should, especially the last few weeks. I've got a lot going on in my life when it comes to my wife and her health. So I've been a little unattentive, unfortunately. But yeah, please feel free to hop in. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything there. By the way, Final says in your response to posting nudes, "Hey, I got to pay for these models somehow."
Hey, I thought it was those feet pics you were doing.
Yeah, I worked. Wildcard says, "Yeah, I worked with resin. My Astreus is one, and having to replace parts is a hassle. I tried contacting GW for replacements, but no dice, so I got myself a 3D printer to replace the extra bits. Honestly." Yeah, I've had a pain in the ass with GW myself, but like I said, nobody's a fan of Warhammer because of Games Workshop, just in spite of. Krieger says, I am, and gives me the 07 salute. By the way, brother, Armator's looking fucking sick as hell. Real Luke says, thank you. The base is not finished yet, though I forgot to buy the base paint, so I have to go and grab the next time I'm out. Fair enough. I'm getting low on some paints myself. Stella says, what Primarch would do the best job of running a daycare? Conrad Curse. Conrad Curse. Hey, there we go. All right, we're going to pull some stuff up here. People are posting pictures. We're going to have to. All right, so let's see. Lord Raptor. God, that looks so good. That's a good-looking model. I like the paint job. I like the teal. It looks like teal here and purple. That looks really good, actually. It could be like an aquatic-themed night house, too, like the symbol of a hippocampus or something. That's exactly where I think of. Ah, the Warglaive. The Warglaive. That looks nice. That looks real nice. I like it. Yeah. Those are nice looking, sir. Be proud of yourself on that one. And then, of course, the first ever official picture of a Titan in the Discord. Holy crap. That is a... At least that's the first one I've ever seen. So if I'm wrong, I apologize to the person, but this is... Oh, man. Oh, I want one so bad. I want one so bad. I can't have one because I don't have $1,100 or more. But God, does it look good. God, does it look good. I love that. I love those models so much. Big models are just freaking cool. All right. Let's see. It says, thank you, man. Of course, Krieger, you're welcome. The color scheme is nice, by the way. Luke says Fulgrim would be better. Running a daycare. Conrad's Cuddly Kid Corner Daycare will watch your monsters. That's so good, Stolas. Raptor says, yep, obviously. Lucky Charms with nice job. It was really pretty. It's an... Oh, Lord Raptor, it is an aquatic house. Well, sir, you knocked it out of the park. That is a good-looking paint job. I like it a lot. I need to get my paint jobs finished. I've been building 2 different night houses because they had to combine together to save each other. So I have 2 different paint schemes I got to get to working on. Herr Krieger says a new Elgu Saturn 4 16K is like $500. You know, that might be the cheapest way to get a Warhound Titan. You're not wrong. I won't be able to take it to tournaments, but that's okay. I have the Porphyrion for that shit. Would be really nice to have a Titan Legion to fight alongside my Night House. But yeah, that's really cool. Those are really nice. Everyone should be proud of those. That Warhound looks really good. That Destrier looks really good as well. Obviously the Warglaive too, but the Destrier takes it for me. Oh my gosh. Be proud of yourselves on that one. And I love that paint scheme. Is that blue and yellow on the Warhound Titan? Because that looks really good. It's how I plan to acquire my Titans in the future. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I still believe we need to have that debate one of these days. I'd love to hear that, and I'd love everyone's opinion here, too. I still want Games Workshop to release a Warlord Titan update where they make the Warlord Titan 2,000 points exactly. So you have an entire Titan as one army that's viable for tournament play. I think that would be sick. They won't do it, though. The cowards. For real, though, I think a Salamander's daycare could be mad wholesome. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Wildcard says, I've seen a Titan once in real life, not a picture, but a real model. It was the size of a baby. I'm surprised. This Porphyrion is not the tallest model I own, but it is the biggest model I own, and it is chunky. And I want to be able to fight a Titan just one time with it, because that's the whole point of the Porphyrion in lore. It's supposed to be a Titan killer. Daryl says, blue and orange, yellow, hay is for my guard army. Dude, first off, it is really freaking sick. You should be proud of that. That looks really nice. I'm jealous. But let's see. Lord Raptor says, see, I'm weird. I would love to get a Knight Preceptor with a Reaper Chainsword, multi-laser, and a big las cannon, maybe a chassis weapon. Well, I mean, I don't want to brag or nothing, but Preceptor's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I can't wait to get this bad boy finished up. I got some ideas. Also, by the way, the reposing of the fingers on this bad boy sucked so bad. I had to carve out each individual knuckle with plastic rod and replace it, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Harry Krieger says, I'd like them to, but they'll never never let a 2K model be meta. That's fine. It doesn't need to be meta. I just want it to be a viable army for tournament play. That's all I want. It would be nice though. The Reaper Chainsword is an interesting touch. Does it come with a Reaper Chainsword, or does it have to be a fist? I don't know actually. It's a good question. On the Preceptor. It's been a minute. I have my codex over there. I could just look it up, but where's the fun in that? I just want to chit-chat and see if anyone else can come up with the answer that I can claim to be the smart one. Alright. Get that polished down here. Darren says, when I first got it years ago, I was afraid to build it and then paint it. Then said I'm painting it. That's how it works. That's how it works. Yeah, I'm scared to paint my Porphyrion but I want to have it the best paint job on it. But I am gonna paint it. I said once I finish all of my other knights, I'm gonna paint the Porphyrion because there's no point in having it unless I get it painted. Lord Raptor says, see, it is such a good model. I wouldn't want him to be Canis Rex. I want him to be on his own. Here's the thing. I get that. I didn't know it had both options. I think when I built it, I thought it had to have the gauntlet, but I wanted the option of it being Canis Rex or the Preceptor. See, there's one aspect of this hobby that I absolutely despise, but it is a little bit of oh my god, seriously? Stola says I'm catching up on my favorite streamer DSP. Oh my god. If there's more drama, I need to know. What a human cockroach, and yet he'll outlive us all. DSP is starting to paint models. He's just copying Asmongold at this point. He's just
DSP.
Darkside Phil is a human cockroach of a streamer. And he will outlive everybody. This man blows $10,000 a month on mobile gaming, but he gets on stream and begs people for money all the time. Because he's broke. Because he spends $10,000 a month on a mobile wrestling game. I'm not even joking. Great content creator, though. Because he's so bad at video games, my guy. So terrible at them. So I didn't know that the Preceptor could come with the Chainsword. That's cool. My problem is that the side of the hobby I hate is meta chasers. But I want to do some Warhammer tournaments, and unfortunately, there's a little bit of a you have to meta chase, just a little bit. So
no, you don't.
Just a little bit, not much, just a little bit.
No,
so that's what I'm doing. That's why I did the Power Fist personally. So most melee you can choose between the Sword or Fist. That's good to know, Krieger. Thank you. Valrod says, I posted 3 other HQs from the Armageddon box if you want to see the Discord. You're damn right I do. The rules for Canis Rex are so good, though. That's fair. Good old dark side. Wildcard says, Phil, the king of hate. You're not wrong. Darren Muzzle says, if you get a Titan, be prepared to use epoxy, copper rods, and magnets for the weapons. I do have copper rods, and I am ready. Wildcard says, not anymore. Brother DSP doesn't play gacha anymore, allegedly. He's now doing pack rips of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, pretty much anything TCG. I'm sure he'll do One Piece cards too. The thing about it is he's doing it so he could resell the cards. He's doing it to gain popularity and then resell the cards later because he's broke as hell. I don't believe he doesn't do gacha games anymore, but I guess we'll believe him for now. All right, let me see here, Valreth. Ooh, I do like that. That looks really good. I like that scheme. What is this, a custom chapter? Is this a chapter you're going for? Because that looks really good. That looks really good. What we got here?
So is that Titan that she has? Is that Titan that whomever, I don't know if it's he, she, whoever posted it, did they do resin?
Yeah, I think it was like a Forge World model. From what they were talking about, that looks really good. I like that Psyker too.
I don't have the patience for freaking resin. I just don't.
That jump pack intercessor looks fucking sick. Sorry, I'm just looking at what Lady Valrith posted. Those are looking really good. I love that paint scheme. You should be proud of that paint scheme for sure. Let's see here. Oh no, the music. The day the music died. We're done with Thief. What else can we do? I like Oblivion. Let's do a little Oblivion. Oblivion's good shit. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Lady Valrath, Asmongold got back into Warhammer and went Nurgle for 40k, as he should. Let's see. Wildcard says, Lolamau, he's not reselling them. He uses them to flex on his detractors, and it's weird. It is weird. Let's see. Lord Raptor says, see, for me, I'm not interested in the tournament. I do the painting and building my own lore because it's what helps with my stress. Plus, it helps my tremors on my hands. That is the best way to get into this hobby. I personally want to go to tournaments, so I have to contend with the meta side of things a little bit, not much, just a touch, which is why I'm doing it that way. Being just a casual lore person when it comes to this hobby is the best way to do it, in my opinion, and so I respect you for doing it that way. So keep up the good work. You don't have to contend with it, but yeah, I think it's great. I think it is truly great. Let's see. Harry Creeker says, that's what I was going to say about the Roach Lord. Yeah. Stola says, personally, I'd be surprised if Asmon picked an army besides Nurgle. I could see him. Well, he's dealt with Nurgle memes for so long. I don't think he could do anything other. So, Valrez says, custom Legion with a Primarch. Ooh, okay. I like that. All right. Krieger says, I don't care about tourneys. That's fair. I do. It's been my dream to go to one and take the Porphyrion, so I kind of have to a little bit. I don't care how well I do. And I'm not doing a true meta chaser because if I was, I wouldn't be bringing a Porphyrion. If I was trying to actually be a proper meta chaser, I wouldn't have the Porphyrion at all. But I do, so clearly I'm not going 100% pure meta. I agree buying isn't even necessary. Yeah, it's fair. You know, Josh, we've had a talk yesterday a little bit with Krieger, but I am curious. Obviously, you know, your interests, just like passions, kind of wax and wane a little bit here. My question for you is, what exactly is your 100% top favorite army in 40k? He's working. Never mind. He's working, everybody. He'll be back with me in a second. I do thoroughly love this hobby, and I love this lore. I cannot wait to see what good things come out soon for us as far as edition-wise goes. I have predictions for what we're going to get as Knight players in the next edition of the game. It looks like one of my predictions is already coming true. I said when the edition started, here are my 3 predictions. We're going to get 3 things in the new edition of 40k. Thing number 1 is we're going to get a new variant of an existing Knight. Thing number 2 is we're going to get a resin Knight done in plastic. And thing number 3 is we're going to get a brand new, never before seen chassis of Knight. So that's what we got in 10th edition, and I think we're going to get the same thing in 11th edition. So, looks like the first part of those predictions is already coming true. We are getting what appears to be a brand new variant of the Knight Destrier, which I think is exciting. I think it is very exciting. It is a Mechanicus aligned. I have to say, though, as exciting as it is, and I do think it is, I'm also a little disappointed. I was hoping that if we got a new variant of a Knight, my personal bet was going to be a new Dominus class Knight. So Castellan, Valiant, and then maybe like a true dedicated pure melee version of a Dominus. But that is not what we are getting, and that's okay. That's okay. But a new Destrier is all right. I'm a little disappointed that it's the brand new Knight and we're getting it, but it could be worse. Lady Valorith says, I've yet to play a game against someone. Did try to get a game, but not enough points. I get you. You know, escalation leagues would be great. If you have enough, like 500 points, you could join an escalation league and get games that way for a smaller point value. Stola says, the more I think about it, the cooler the nipple horns are to me. Magnus is actually super based. I hate you for that one, Stolas. Wildcard says, my first locals with my first army did decent. Fought Sisters of Battle against Khorne Berserkers, and I used Anvil Siege Detachment along with the Desolation Squad before they were changed. In my experience, tourneys are fun. I agree. I've heard they are nothing but fun. I just want to make a list for my boys that are as meta as possible for the Porphyrion because it's such a bad model. But that is awesome, though. Lord Raptor says, see, my first army was Tau. I know everyone hates them, but I like them. The Destrier is getting a third option. Yes. So before anyone else says it, there's a meme that I love Tau. It is a filthy, disgusting lie designed to harm my reputation amongst Imperial simps like myself. But Tau are fine. As an army, I don't hate the Tau. I think the hate of the Tau is more mean than anything else. But yeah, I think the third Destrier is actually not that bad. I like that at all. Third variant of the Dominus class would be sick. I really, really, really wanted a pure, dedicated melee variant of the Dominus. Just get in there with a sword and shield or power fist or something would be super, super sick. They kept going. They kept going after my poor Dreadnought, though. I'm so sorry, Wildcard. Stola says, "Nah, Wizard loves Tau. Don't let him gaslight you." And Final calls me, "I thought you were the Tau-stick wizard." Words hurt, boys. Luke says, "Boo, Xenos suck." That's funny. Lady Val says, "I need an Abominant and a Knight Tyrant for my Chaos Knights, and then 2 more Brigand to play." You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Question is, Lady Valrith, what Dark God are your Chaos Knights? What Dark God are they aligned to? This is important. The future of our friendship is at stake. Then we'll go to the 3,000. And we'll hit them with the 5. And then we'll hit them with the 7. Here we go. Stola says, "I really want a red Corsair team up with Drukhari and Freebooters." I think a Freebooters and red Corsairs team up would be freaking sick. But more importantly, I just think the red Corsairs are freaking sick. Personally, I think they are really cool. If I had to have a Chaos... No, Wizard, you love olives. Shut up, Luke. If I had to pick a Chaos Space Breed faction, I think the red Corsairs are probably it for me. Red Corsairs are not necessarily all about the Dark Gods, and I think that's the one aspect of them I don't care for. Plus, pirates are just cool. So... all new chat members, Wizard loves olives. Thank you, Luke. You wonderful bastard. And Harry Krieger says, "I need to finish my models. I got a total of 3,300 points." We are actually relatively close.
And we are back.
Oh, he's back. He scared me, actually. Holy shit. I jumped in my seat.
Am I still too loud?
A little bit, but it's. I think it's just because you got real close to your mic.
Sorry.
You're good. Damn. That was... I was trying to... Well, we're actually pretty close in point value, Krieger. I checked it out. I think I've got 3,535 points worth of knights now. So... There's that. Wizard self-insert 40k OC Olives Tau Fire Warrior. I hate you, Stolas. What type of lance would be cool to make, I wonder? I want a Dominus class. That's a dream. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. There is a Dominus Foebreaker detachment that is themed for knights. So you can have a completely dedicated lance of knights that are just Dominus class.
There we go. Am I back? There we go. I'm still fumbling with this mic, so I apologize.
You're good.
It's new mic, new tech. I think I did the math, and I'm in the neighborhood of 4 to 5 2,000 point armies that are still sitting in boxes.
Oh wow. There we go. That's crazy. That's crazy good. So you said, okay, Lady Vow says so it's Chaos unaligned. See, that's fair. That's fair. I can't fault you on that one. So there is...
I can't fault you. That's wrong.
Okay, so that's it on the arm. So I've got the arm here for the shield, which I can't really swap to the other arm. Oh, I can. No, because now it's on the wrong one. Yeah, okay. So it has to be the right arm has got the shield. That's not that bad, though. I built a Land Raider Crusader, and it's ready for primer. Ooh, nice. Very nice. All right. So 2 more pieces, and then the arm for the Lancer is done. And I think I promised, real fast, someone way back in
this.
this.
To work on your squats?
I mean, I did promise that as well.
I just want to see. Oh, damn.
I can't scroll back that far. The chat message must be gone. If anyone has it, former Wilson Family Jewelry actually posted that they made music, and I wanted to check it out on stream, but it seems my chat has reset to the point that I can't seem to get to the message anymore. So if anyone has that, let me know, because I can't get to it. I wanted to check it out. Luke says I'm going to go now. I hope you have a great rest of your stream and a great rest of your day. Luke, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate you. You have a great rest of your day too, brother. Thank you for swinging by. Wildcard says, cool, my 40k army Ultramarines is around 3k. Without the Astreas, it's around 2k. I have no plans on growing beyond that. That's fair. You also said Ultramarines, which means you will summon Final eventually. Darren says, one army I need to get back to is my AOS army, Spider Fang Gloomspite Gits. That's a mouthful. I'm working on the Cities of Sigmar and a Karajan Overlords. That's actually really cool. So I like AOS, and if I don't do Knights on my next stream, I might do some AOS stuff, because I do have a Cog Fort I need to finish, as well as my Cities of Sigmar boys I need to get done. Stolas presents a question of, what if Gilliman went Chaos, and he had Gillimanlings, like a little naked avatars of Gilliman, that just talk about how great he is?
Why do I feel like...
I just had a stroke reading that, but that is hilariously funny.
All I can really think of, I just see in my head, is just Rabute Gilliman a lot like Donald Trump. And he pees out his little nurglings.
It's fucking stupid. I also play the Mark of Chaos game, and it really got me into Warhammer, the old world. It makes me want to make my own Empire of Man regiment. Might get an Emperor General on Griffin. Funny that you say that. I have one, because the General on Griffin is, in fact, my boy, Karl Franz. And I want to get into the old world as
You're
well.
welcome.
Thank you, buddy. I deeply appreciate that. But yeah, I love that. It's really great. I love the old world as well. I want to get into the old world as well. I just don't have enough money, and there's 3 different Warhammer games by Games Workshop, and I need to sell a kidney. Lord Rapt, let's see, play the game at Market Cast, yeah. Okay, by Luke, yeah. Stola says, lol, no, that's amazing. Just have Gilliman to be like, all right, listen here, my little Gillimanlings. I'm going to need you to talk about how great I am, because I am the greatest of all time. I need you to just tell me all that, all the time. And if you don't do that, I'm going to be really upset with you. It's really good stuff. Lord Raptor, your AOS is Maw Tribes. You must be really happy about the brand new like model releases that they've been talking about recently, because those look really good. I have to be honest with you. The best Emperor in Warhammer, Karl Franz. Second best Emperor in Warhammer. The first one is still Sigmar. I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I like Biggie, Biggie is a cheap knockoff of Sigmar himself.
My boy.
Wildcard 2281 says, Chaos Rowboat G-Man. He would be Chaos Undivided. He would be Chaos Undivided. We're going to conquer the Eye of Terror. We're going to build a wall all around it. We're going to make the Imperium pay for it. We're going to deport all of the Drukhari. Kick them out of Kamarag. It belongs to us now. So, that's good stuff, though. I agree. I think he'd be Slaanesh. He's a freak for Xenos. Nah, did you not hear? He's going to deport the Drukhari out of Kamarag. We're going to make Chaos great again. So, I don't know why I'm still doing that. Yeah, the Maw Tribes do look really good. I'm actually very excited. The new Maw Tribe models, they look good. I'm not even a Maw Tribes fan, and I'm glad that they're getting new ones. The old models were aging pretty poorly. I am still waiting on a specific faction for AOS to come out, though. I want AOS to release the Shadow Elves. I need Shadow Elves in my life. We have the Lumineth, we have the Ideneth, and we have the Sylvaneth. Now I just need the
Darketh.
The Umbraneth. Yes, I've got box. Dude, it's so good. The models look really good. The Maw Tribe stuff. I'm not, like I said, I'm not even a Maw Tribes fan, and the Maw Tribe models look really, really good. So, I'm very excited to see what they do next. Alright, let's trim this back a little bit. Let's get this arm finished. It looks like I'll have to message Kirk and ask him for that link again. got lost in the chat. I should have saved it when I had the chance, but we'll have to check it out on the next stream. But I would absolutely love to. Just because he has an elf wife doesn't mean he's for Slanesh. Alright, that's it. Hold on. We're gonna... Trip move. I don't want to run you over with the chair, buddy. There is a video I have to find. So give me 1 second here to find that video. Bear with me here. Josh, entertain everybody.
Well, guys, I'm going to tell you about the Tzeentch and the corn. All right? When you're a young Chaos Cultist, all right, your body starts to go through many different changes. Many different changes you're not really sure about. Sometimes your neck decides to distend and you become a weird, amorphous-looking basketball hoop. Sometimes you find a deep desire for consuming blood out of the skulls of your enemies. And that's when you know your body is changing. Your body is changing for the corn and the Slanesh. Okay? Now, I know what happens when you're going through these changes. Feels really scary. Did I really need to kill my babysitter from 7 years ago who loved me unconditionally and now I wear her skin as a warm jacket in the cold night? Do I really need to take my legs, fold them in half, and turn them into an ottoman? All these things that you're feeling are probably really, really scary. But do not falter, because at the end of all of this, Papa Nurg will welcome you into his garden. Now, there's going to be a time in which you're going to want to act upon these impulses. You're going to want to eat maggots out of the trash can or take a baby and throw it on the wall and see what kind of Jackson Pollock artwork you can do with it. But we don't want to act on those impulses. At least not yet. Once you step into the full light of Khorne, Tzeentch, Slanesh, and Nurgle, only then can you see the full greatness that is chaos. Now, once you have decided to partake in these dastardly deeds, you're going to want to see them come to fruition in a way that only the Dark One can approve of. And at that point, at that moment, you will fully give in to the chaos nature. And then you will follow the dark, yet exciting and exhilarating past of Chaos Undivided.
Well, unfortunately, I was unable to find the specific video. I'll have to pull it up later. There's literally an entire video I was trying to find. Thank you for entertaining everybody. I deeply appreciate that, brother. Of a guy who does draws Trump and does comedy videos on Instagram, and it's Trump as Gilliman, and it's like him singing to Yvraine, and it's her having a like this dream about Gilliman, and all of a sudden it just turns into like she wakes up from the dream and he's like, what are you doing here? You're a filthy, disgusting Xeno. Get off my ship. You're very gross to look at. Very unsettling. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Was Kirk former Wilson family? Yes. Yes. Sorry. Thank you. I'm answering all these messages now. Yes, he was. He actually posted something for some music he made that he wanted me to check out. So yeah, I'm the same way. Lord Raptor says, I wanted to make my own city-state in the old world. I'm such a lore nerd, but I don't know if I wanted to make my regiment one of the existing elector counts. I actually made my own city-state in the old world, and it's set in the realm of Averland, of all things. They're just outside Blackfire Pass. So, yes. Do so. Be a nerd. Embrace it. It's great. Lady Val says, I'll catch you later. I'm thinking about painting Lady Malice live. Well, you should, Lady Valor. Thank you. Thank you for swinging by. If you're already gone, I apologize. I missed you, but thank you for swinging by. It was really great to see you. So it says, take care of Valorith as telling you someone should take an improv class. Harry Krieger Inquisitor, we've got one over here. Jeff El Paso Music. Yes, that's what I was wanting to look up. Thank you. Jeff El Paso Music. He made a song he wanted me to listen to, and I thought we would do that. Thank you. He said he made he said he made it sing with AI, but I was all right with that. Okay, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this so we can play some of this on the next one. For sure. Okay, cool. I've saved the channel. Thank you, Final. You beautiful man. I could kiss you right now. Can't Inquisition what you can't catch. Josh, you have to run quickly now. Herr Krieger called the Inquisitor on you. You have to get out of here.
I fear no Inquisition.
That's fair. That's fair. Alrighty. So, got that here. Trim this down. So, I'm going to finish up this arm here, everybody. I think I will have been going now for 3.5 hours. That's not bad. It's a good return stream. The collab that nobody expected. Everyone's been expecting our collab, but no one was expecting that one, to be fair. Ladies and gentlemen, JD and his improv.
What did I say?
You talking about Slanesh and being Chaos Undivided and all that stuff?
Yeah, we're talking about the corn and the Slanesh.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And sometimes how your body changes and, you start to feel tingly bits.
At one point, I wanted to make my own Inquisitor and Retainers, but trying to think of a kit bash was kind of hard. You know what? Honestly, you should. With Inquisitorial Agents now within 40k, you absolutely should. You can. I actually want to make my own Rogue Trader. I think it'd be great. I think 40k's Inquisition is so well written that the simultaneously evil yet completely fascist group that is absolutely necessary is just incredible to me. Brother, the whole setting is great because you think mankind wouldn't want to be the way that it is, but it has to be the way that it is. Because if it wasn't, mankind wouldn't be around. The Imperium is undeniably evil, but it is also completely necessary because if it didn't exist, humanity would be extinct. That's what's so
This reminds me of a poem that I heard one time. Steeply prolific and honestly one of my favorites. It says, roses are red, violets are blue. Sometimes it don't be like that.
But sometimes it do. Exactly. It's very profound. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to make my Inquisitor and Terminator armor. Dude, you should. There's a couple of that have like heavy power armor.
If you go on YouTube and type in, there's a guy, his whole video, like his whole channel is about making Imperial agents, like people working for the Imperium. I think he did one for the RBDs. He's done one. I mean, like he's done a lot of them, and I was watching some of his stuff, just amazed at the kind of stuff he was creating. There's somebody on I can't think of his name now, but he's on YouTube, and his whole channel is just kit bashing, for Inquisition. Excuse me.
Yeah, dude, it's great. There's some great stuff. I think you should. I think homebrew should be 100% not just allowed but encouraged in the system. And I think you should have custom everything. You want to have a custom Inquisitor? Be my guest. Have a custom Inquisitor. You want to have a custom Rogue Trader? Have a custom Rogue Trader. Hell, I have built lore, a planet with multiple political factions, multiple homebrew or custom stuff for my Night House, to the point that I want to, and this is the ultimate goal, I want to create a custom-made sector set in the Imperium Obscurus, as close to the Galactic Rim, right next to the Cicatrix Maledictum, that basically we could have everyone's, like, in this community's homebrew in. Inquisitors, Night Houses, Chaos Night Houses. We could come up with, if someone wants to make a Tau Sept, even though we're nowhere near the Tau, I'm in. I think that would just be great. If we could just have everybody...
Hey, we know you want to make a Tau.
Okay. Anyway, so basically everybody can have a homebrew in this sector. So I've got 3 Night Houses that share a world. I've got a Free Blade company of knights on the world serving as mercenaries to the 3 Night Houses. I've got custom Space Marines. I've got Chaos Knights. I mean, my planet is fighting off an invasion from the warp, from an unstable warp rift of a Nurgle-aligned Night House that is trying to conquer the entire planet, and they've brought a ton of reinforcements. So it's not just Nurgle-aligned stuff, it could be anybody's. And I think that would be the coolest part, is to just have everybody involved. If Wizard has his way, Tau would be an official Imperial citizens. Disgusting. I hate this slander. I don't like it here anymore. Josh, I want to go home. It's so fucking stupid.
All are welcome with the Tau.
I want to go home. I don't like it here anymore. My community's being mean to me. I bumped my mouse. Oh well. I need to fix this leg. It's going to be a pain in the ass since it broke off. Oh well. I'll fix it later. That's flipping epic. That's the plan, man. That's the plan. A custom sector where everyone's homebrew can be involved, where we'll have an ever ongoing lore that can be changed and evolved through games that we can play, whether through Tabletop Simulator or some other virtual way of playing 40K. And we could have this lore never stopping. Is there a chance my planet could be completely conquered and my Night House exiled? Sure, why not? Do you want to have an impact in this sector? I think that'd be great. I don't know how I would do it yet, but I really, really want to. So it's on my list of things to do. So I'm in. That's what I want to do. I like how official 40K artwork refuses to draw Tau as hot, but the fandom insists on making them anime girls. Listen, you should look up the internet talking about Vaporeon. Anyway, now that I've got that out of the way. All right, well, I've made some progress on the Lancer. It was actually a lot of fun hanging out with you guys again today. I've missed this. I've missed this immensely. I can't wait to get back to it. My streaming days from now on are going to be Thursdays. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for stopping by. I will be back live next Thursday. I'm going to be trying to stream earlier in the day, for sure. Stola says no. Oh, God. Oh, you're not looking at the Vaporeon stuff. I understand. I want to say thank you, El, for showing by. I'll be live again next week. I want to start it earlier than I normally have. I'll try to do it around 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll be going till about 2:30, so about 4 hours again, but a little earlier than I normally. But until my schedule gets sorted, that's going to be the plan. So I'll have to play it tentatively, though. If I can't stream next week on Thursday because of any unknown reason as of right now, I will make sure to keep everyone updated in the Discord channel. But I want to say again, thank you all for being here. I deeply appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video or a comment. It does help out quite a bit. If you didn't like what you saw, I appreciate you guys for hanging out as long as you have anyway. And I will catch you all in the next one. Later.